Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Bow for the good. No, squeezy, bad baby. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to Rebellion's Bloom, our Star Wars umbrella show here on the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we've got a very good episode for you. We got the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian. A great week for Star Wars fans. I am joined today by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And I'm also joined by the wonderful Kyler Brent.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, G? I can't remember if I said it. Got a little THC in my system. I'm Colton Robertson. So, today we've got the Bad Batch number 212, season 2, episode 12, and the Mandalorian season 3, episode 2. We are going to start with the Bad Batch today, simply because of scheduling reasons. So, let's start with the Bad Batch. It was a fucking week for that, fellas. How you feeling down there, Joey?
Man, I mean, I'm coming off I watched Mando first, and then I'm dealing with all that, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch Bad Batch now. Gotta get in that, this mode. And, it left me in the same spot, We had that advice given to us of watching the Bad Batch second anyways. You'll have to sit with it after you watch it, and that they were right. They were right. There are many things to contemplate at the end of this. A lot of things that I guess I've just never thought about before, and that are being cleared up. They're clearing up a lot of what happened to a lot of just the clones that are scattered that we know nothing about. Even like the video game clones from Delta Squad from like last episode that I know nothing about, but everyone's
fucking Republic
flipping
Commandos
shit for
and
it.
shit.
Yeah, like flipping out for now. So like I don't know, the show is just taking this different scope. I feel like it's not going where I thought it would go, but I am like all for it. Like this storyline, like I'm at the edge of my seat the whole time, like waiting. Just
and we got the thing I've been wanting. I've been wanting out of Crosshair, if I do say so myself. I will say ahead of all this is spoilers as fuck, and we're not going any scene by scene type shit. So it's likely that the big spoilers will be the first discussed. It's only sensible. So, Crosshair killed that motherfucker, and I couldn't be more happy.
Oh yeah, yep. Let's talk about it because fuck Barton. Fuck him.
Wow.
Thought the voice actor was pretty good. He really sounded like a piece of shit asshole. He killed that role. That guy, he might not be someone I want to hang out with in real life. Not to make a judgment or anything, but. Fuck, man. That dude, I've never seen somebody yearning for a bullet more than that fucker. Thank God. Get him out of here.
I don't know what he was expecting.
Move on.
But at least this guy gives us the clearest view of how the Empire looks at clones now. Like, we assumed through, like, Rampart. We assumed through Rampart that they were expendable and, we had just assumed that the Empire thought of them this way. But this dude was just blatantly being like, man, I hate used equipment.
Dude.
I'm like, I cannot wait for this dude to die. And I hope it's painful.
You are expendable too, clone. It's
right after his friend,
get his ass out of here. Get his ass out of here. That shit, nah. He deserved a bullet. 10 times. I would have shot him at least like 20 more times.
Dick. Fucking
and Crosshair's like, some problem? He was like, something wrong? Yeah, like I love how Crosshair challenged him even at first. But yeah, I don't know. At least Crosshair got to put him in his place. He's like, where is he? Like, is he on Mount Tannis right now? Is that where? Like, where all that experiment?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Are they gonna send him on a mission to go kill the rest of them? Is that what he's like? Is that what are they gonna do with Crosshair? You know, I feel like they're not just gonna be sending him on rinky-dink store like missions anymore. Like I feel like now something has changed. Like maybe
I was envisioning more like experiment or some kind of stuff like with maybe his DNA or something. I don't know. I guess in hindsight, like they have tons and tons of clones at the ready but I just didn't know if maybe his like, what's the word they use for like the bad, like their
enhancement.
Yeah. Maybe something in that regard. I don't know.
Oh, like to make just a bunch of Crosshairs.
Well, I don't know if specifically make a bunch of him. I just didn't know if his DNA had
or
a ticket
help
to
with
something
the
they might want to try to do.
I see.
I would.
I don't know.
I would note that we have a very uniform look for the soldiers at the beginning of Rogue One, the Death Troopers that are all in black with the green like eye line. They're very tall. They're very good at what they do. They are called the Death Troopers, and we haven't seen them pop up yet so far in the timeline. So I think it'd be interesting if they are like somehow based from Crosshair.
Oh no. Oh man, that's kind of sad.
No, but my leading theory is that he's about to have that serial number filed off, and he's about to go.
But
I'm a believer.
You know, I don't know. He has like a look to him. Like people will still recognize him, right? Or like, will they make him unrecognizable? Like, what's the serial number thing that Rex can't? You know, like Rex sees the clone, and then he's like, "There's no where is their serial number? Like, even like, what does he mean by that? You know, like
know.
there's no markings on this one, but like, if the only reason they know Crosshair is Crosshair is because he has the crosshair around his eyeball and the scar on his head, and they're like, "Yeah, you're Crosshair." So like, how make him remove serial number? You know, like I guess how does that make him unserial number gun? How do? Yeah, how do?
No, yeah, I have no fucking clue. That's theory at the moment.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. We got 4 episodes left, right? Yeah, 4. And like they're lining up to where I feel like Crosshair and the Batch are gonna come together again. Everything is coming together. They're wanting Omega. You know, Crosshair's at Mount Tantus now. I feel everyone's coming together.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was evident, like, towards the beginning, the looks he was giving Barton and just, like, the general, like, ordering around and stuff and, like, how the clones were being treated. Like, even if he still is, like, loyal to his orders, I feel like he was very torn by that. And then naturally at the end of the episode with the unfolding, I thought that was perfect. Like, I think that's exactly where we're headed. Some type of reunion. I don't know necessarily permanently. I think he's going to die or something personally, but I think he's going to end up sacrificing himself for the Batch in some capacity is my...
You think they're going classic, the only way, the guy who not sold his soul, he's gotten,
sold out kind of, yeah, I get you.
He's gotten brainwashed though, like it's not his fault, but like the guy who has done the fucked up shit is going to sacrifice himself to redeem himself, sort of on that Vader, Kylo.
Yeah, I just kind of see it coming. Like, I just think that's what's going to happen. Because, like Joe said, I think there is a reunion for sure coming. Like, and I think it could even be something that they kind of stumble into Crosshair if he's, like, being kept prisoner. And then it's like, what?
That's where my money's at. That's where my money was at. Because I do think that they're going to manage to capture Omega, as is the plan at the end of last episode for the Bad Batch. Or not for the Bad Batch, for the crew on Mount Tantus. And I think the Bad Batch is going to have to go save her. And in the process of trying to save her, there's Crosshair. Whoa, Crosshair's here. Let's get a 2-for-1 special going. Let's save his ass and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, can we just say fuck the Prime Minister of Camino? Like, you for putting her name out there like that. Fuck you for putting her name out there like that. You ain't got to do that. That was not right. Fuck you.
What a bitch. What a bitch.
But no, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, as you're watching, you can see the confliction. That's definitely not a word. The conflict.
Hey, you made it a word, though. I respect
you can definitely see the conflict in Crosshair, and like I just feel like after him getting such a unique perspective for how the clones are being treated through the Empire lens rather than like what the Batch has seen with the clones, both kind of heartbreaking, but in totally different ways. And then especially like with the whole Mayday thing, I think he has his like, what is like, I don't see him being someone who adapts to any type of life outside of like, I don't know, fighting, like not for the Empire, but just like kind of fighting in general.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's definitely gonna go out sacrificing himself. Like I think he's just like what would like I think I think he prefers that almost and like makes the choice like wholeheartedly. Like
no, I'm 100% with you because like I'm of the mind like obviously there are things he'd be able to do outside of this life, but nothing that he would enjoy doing. I mean, like
yeah,
for example, like Tech, Hunter, Wrecker. All of them, their enhancements have utility beyond the obvious in war. Like Crosshair, that's his own. That's his utility is that he can shoot good. You know, like that's
going to be the best big game hunter. Going to be the best big game hunter this side of the galaxy.
There you go. There you go. Homies, fucking Bantha.
Man, dude, and like the one thing I'll say is like we got a little teeny tiny taste of Crosshair earlier in the season, and then really haven't seen or heard much from him otherwise. And damn, man, like this episode kind of focusing on him and just like they invested in his character in this episode, like made up for it all tenfold, you know, in my opinion. Like I don't think he had any place really throughout the season. Like there wasn't any moment where I was like, Crosshair should be here, or whatever, or whatnot.
It just works that way. The Empire's been less involved so far, like directly to the Batch. Like it makes sense in season 1 that mission find the Bad Batch and they're in Crosshairs hunting them down. Like, yeah, that makes sense. This season, yeah, it's made sense to sideline them a bit and only because it not only works story-wise, it works thematically. This man's all by his lonesome. Every time we go with him, he is the focus of the episode for an entire episode, and that's it. You know, like it's just about Crosshair this week. And you can definitely feel the sort of mundanity that has kind of overtaken his life. You know, even whenever he does fight back against this bitch, whenever he's like problem, like you can kind of feel like that's like the most excitement he's had in a while is being able to question somebody like, oh yeah. You're out of uniform. Fuck you. Like, Jesus, he just goes ahead and puts the fucking helmet on. Like, what a bitch. What a bitch.
Yeah, man. And like, I don't know. You feel like he's kind of cold a lot of times, like emotionally speaking, you know? Damn, if they didn't give him some shit in his wheelhouse to like, just like I said, like even just like the animation of his face in certain moments and just like the pain you see, it's like, God damn, this makes me so sad.
When he's wrapping Mayday up and they're like snuggling out in the snowstorm, that shit fucked me up. Like you can tell there's something more there, you know, like it's not just that he's worried for this dude's life. It's like this look out for someone, this closeness. He hasn't had it since the Batch has been gone, you know?
Yeah. Nah, man. I like this episode a lot. It hit real different for me, in my opinion. I just, like I said, one of those things, man, where, fuck me, it just hit hard. Like, it's a total different tone from the rest of the Batch thus far. I mean, like, maybe, like, when Echo leaves, you know, maybe that's kind of in a similar vein, maybe. But fuck, dude, like not quite. Like this is just some different type of emotion that was evoked, and yeah, man, I really liked it. Like I said, I don't know, like it's just a different type of tone from the rest of the show so far, and like I don't know, like I'm not trying to sound gloomy and doomy or anything, but like this is just so on point for this character, and I hate it because like I want better for him, but like. That was just unfortunately not the path he chose.
Right.
And fuck, man. Like You can just see the pain in him. You can just see the pain in him, like that wasn't the decision he made. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
Like, because there's that part of him that doesn't know. Because I'm still of the mind he has his inhibitor chip in. Like, I'm fairly certain of that.
Yeah.
And the thing about the inhibitor chips is the clones can't tell when they're being controlled. You know, like they can't tell when they are under the spell of what the chip is making them do. They think they make that choice, regardless of whether or not they're being controlled or not. They're like, no matter what, in their mind, that decision was their own. And the idea that he's sitting there in the snow, 30 below, it's freezing out there, and he's hugging this dude, trying to keep him alive, and he's like, this is the life I chose. Like, I chose this for me and my team. Like, not for my team, just for me. Like, that's, I don't know. I feel so bad for the guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly it. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, you've seen, like, Echo now go a separate way, and, like, you have this feeling that it's working out much, much better. And then you've watched The Batch, and, like, you've seen that, like, while there's been some, you know, grief or, like, darker moments, they always come out triumphant, and, like, to know that this one character has just, like, been run through the mill kind of is just like, damn, dude, just hurts to see. You know, hoping better days are ahead for my boy, because he deserves it.
Yeah, he does. Good guy. He's a good guy. My wife is beating my ass right now. Sorry. Is it coming through rough? Am I rough a little bit?
Here and there, it really wasn't that bad until you like just said it, and then all of a sudden, like right after that, it kind of did it.
Yeah, I'm watching like the ping go up and down and up and down and up and down, and it's like good for a few seconds, and then it dips, and then for a few seconds, and then it dips, and I'm like, God damn, that's not what you want. But anywho, let's do some for this episode. I think a favorite character. It feels easy, but there are a couple options. You know, like I could see me going Mayday, but it's Crosshair.
Yep. Yeah. No, I don't have anybody else either. Mine was Crosshair as well. I had originally thought like maybe like Mayday, and then like when I first saw Barton, I thought maybe he'll have something kind of like something that's like kind of cool. Nope. Hate him.
No, yeah, complete and utter fuck. Like, because like last week, Joe went with Dr. Hemlock as his favorite character, which I can understand compared to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy, at least he has something interesting about him. This guy was just fucking hateful and goddamn annoying and a piece of shit. And you get to see our protagonist, at least for the episode, kill his ass, and that's fantastic. I absolutely loved it. That's my favorite scene, of course. That's my favorite scene. It has my favorite line when he says, "You could have saved him." Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of like, well, typically what I'll do is like kind of like I'll like jot down like the things like my favorites like as they kind of happen, and then like oftentimes I find like something happens after that then takes over, you know, so I kind of like update it. And I had thought for sure the whole like sequence of like Crosshair and Mayday like escaping, getting out of there, like Crosshair like carrying Mayday for so long. I was like, man, like it didn't even cross my mind it wouldn't pay off, you know. And then oh fuck, you know, that hurt. Like I really just set myself up there, didn't I? Like wow, that kind of sucks.
It did. No, I'm with you. It's
but. Yeah, no, that I think the killing scene, like there are very few characters who are immediately so unlikable as that one. Toto, the Jawas are getting after their appearance in Mando this week, they're growing ever so slightly. You know,
your hate for the Jawas is still one of my favorite little fun Star Wars facts about like our group doing this.
Yeah, man, and like I hate to see him so they've got a lot of thanking for Pelimoto to do because their role with her is kind of slowly increasing my my enjoyment of them. But
Utini. No, yeah, I love me a Jawa. So, but fuck Toto till the day I die.
yeah, no, that one's still holding strong. That one's holding strong.
Yeah.
If we ever see live action one, I shit you not,
I'm stomping on his ass.
I'm pulling up to the filming. I'm finding out. Like, if that shit leaks, Disney, you better watch your fucking back. It's all
He deserves a cold place in hell right next to this guy, from the Bad Batch episode. Like, that's where Toto belongs. Is right alongside that guy.
Yeah, man, not it.
Not it one bit. That man sucks. Both Toto and this fucking guy. I can't even remember his name. What was it?
Barton. I didn't catch Barton. Like a first name. Lieutenant Barton, I guess, or something like
Lieutenant
that.
Barton. You ever commanded a mission, Lieutenant? Yes, what I thought. That's why I fucked with Mayday. He was like fed up, and he was like, "Yeah, we've been out here for 36 rotations. About damn time y'all showed up. I mean, shit. We've been chilling out here, dying, and y'all can't even pull up. Y'all do, and there's 3 of us left. What the fuck?" I fucked with Mayday. Mayday actually, D. Baker as Mayday got my performance nod this week. While Crosshair was, I think I just went Crosshair heavy in every other category, so I wanted to give Mayday some love somehow, and because the character design, that was some of the coolest shit a clone's ever looked like ever. That was so cold.
Who is the one we saw that was kind of? This was Clone Wars, I think. Last-ish season, last 2 seasons. They go to fuck, man, it's like a farm kind of thing, and they go in there, and there's this real grizzled-looking, bearded clone. I don't remember. It's in the Clone Wars, though.
The Deserter?
Is that who it is?
Well, I'm trying to remember, because you said on a farm, and that's the closest thing I can think of is Cut from because he's in the first season of the Bad Batch also.
Okay, maybe that's maybe
they go and visit him and his family. He's married to a Twi'lek and stuff. Is that ringing a bell?
Yes. Okay, not as bearded as I thought at all. I guess in my head I just envisioned farm
big
guy.
Sideburns though, right? Big sideburn guy.
Oh yeah, mutton chops all the way.
Yeah. Cut's a real one. Love Cut.
Yeah. I did like Mayday a lot. I think for my performance, I gave it to Crosshair. I gave it to Baker as Crosshair, but I also did really like the voice actor for Barton. I thought he portrayed a piece of shit very well. He really knew how to inflect his voice to sound like a total piece of shit.
That man fucking sucked, and he sounded like he does. It was and he sounded like a fascist. That's. Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
That's hey, we're watching you, bro. I'm looking you up on IMDb. Fuck. God damn, it's a struggle today. But dude, he really did sound like a piece of shit. He did a great job of that. So kudos to that guy. I'm watching you. Don't slip up, motherfucker, because you're doing that shit a little too good.
Okay, are we sure it wasn't Lieutenant Nolan?
Am I really
Lieutenant Nolan? Now? Is that ringing a bell?
Yeah, where the fuck am I getting Barton from? God,
they went to a planet called Barton 4 or something like that. It was like a moon.
Maybe that's why I'm all shocked. Yeah, it's Nolan. Sorry. God damn it! Now I'm even more pissed. This is why I get pissed off, because there's these characters who are significant but insignificant at the same time, and I can remember things, but I can't remember everything, and then people just probably think I sound like an idiot.
No, that's
can't imagine why I would sound like an idiot. Can't imagine why I would sound like that.
This guy he's voiced by Crispin Freeman. His name's Crispin. Which, if you're a House of the Dragon viewer, that's kind of funny. Because Crispin is a piece of fucking shit. But no, this guy seems cool. Very, very popular voice actor. Voiced Firefly in the Arkham games, which is dope. So you automatically have my respect for that. So Crispin Freeman, you're on my watch list, but you seem cool.
Yeah, Crispin, that just isn't a good look, man. Like, that just sounds like you're gonna...
Nah,
dude,
I don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah, no. Is it the guy who plays Marty McFly's dad? Isn't his name Crispin too, the actor? Is that
Shit,
right?
He might be.
I think it is. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
think
think
you're
of
right.
why I know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into. Yeah, Crispin Glover.
Yeah,
that's right.
dude. The only reason I thought that is because not even because Marty McFly's dad, but I remember that dude in Charlie's Angels being an absolute fucking weirdo piece of shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Crispin, something's off. Something can't be right there. That's two. Hey, once is a coincidence, but two Crispins playing some pieces of shit. That has got to be a trend. It has got to be a trend. There's got to be a third one out there. That's breaking
three is
the
what
streak.
makes it fact.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like
exactly.
2's a coincidence. 3, there's too many. There's too many at that point.
Nope. At that point, it's just it's not even a theory anymore. It's confirmed.
If you go from a couple to a few, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's a red flag, big time.
Red flag. No, but Crispin Freeman did a really good job in this episode. Voicing
no, he
Lieutenant
did. No, yeah, it like that cold-hearted like voice like. I talk about Crosshair being like so cold, like voice sounding and stuff, just cause, but that's like almost a raspy, like, kind of like, I don't know. This is different. Like, this is its own unique type of like.
Posh. It's like, it's holier than thou. It like makes you think that like.
Exactly.
He's pontificating every single fucking word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's very easy to just hear it and be like, God, dude, I just want to punch the fuck out of you.
It's got a very punchable voice.
Yep, correct.
And
that was the mission. That was definitely the mission for this character, and mission accomplished. Great job, Crispin. I'm watching you again. Don't forget it.
No, I loved when Crosshair dropped his ass. That was easily the highlight. I remember thinking just like, oh, please fucking shoot this guy. Please fucking shoot this guy. And then he shot that guy, and it was like 3 a.m. I audibly went like, fuck yes. Like I was like, fucking finally seeing. And there's also this point earlier in the episode where I feel like they're heavily alluding to the fact that he still has his inhibitor chip in whenever he's looking through the scope and the giant flash happens and it blinds him for a second and then he hears like a ringing. Like that's the inhibitor chip fucking up, like something shook loose in that moment, if you will. And I thought that was what was happening there.
Yeah, I thought there was I just watched this, so this is pretty bad. But I just felt like there's times where he's kind of like reaching around or something. Like he's almost feeling around, like he's conscious it's there and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like what you said too. I think it's probably, like, I'm kind of in the camp with you that it's probably still there. I just don't, I mean, like, we know that we haven't ever seen that he's taken it out, and I can't imagine the Empire is going to take it out. They want a violent, malicious, whatever. So,
yeah, my biggest worry is that they go full Winter Soldier on my man, and they just they control him. They hypnotize him or some shit. Because she said like that chick at the end. She's like, the doctor is about to see you. Hey man. If you in a lab and a doc and
nothing good about to happen.
The doctor is about to see you. I'm going, you know what? Just kill me now. Stab me, please. I don't need to see the doctor. Especially when that doctor's name is Dr. Hemlock. What? Nope. That man's scary. I know he's scary. He sounds scary. What's he gonna do to me? I don't trust it. I don't fuck with Dr. Hemlock.
No. Kid show, that's a very kid show villain-esque sounding name.
Yeah, right.
No mixing that shit up. Did you give your line already?
Yeah, I went with you could have saved him, and it was more because of the delivery than anything. It was just like it felt so nice to see Crosshair show empathy, because like we just don't see that a lot out of him, and to see him be like, this was so senseless. There was no reason, and the fact that they were transporting something that literally could have helped them, like it's disturbing, you know. And everything builds up into that moment when he goes, "You could have helped him," and then he shoots him and he kills him. That's the best.
I put down at one point. I thought totally misread what this episode was going to end up being like. But at one point I had wrote down the line when Crosshair's standing on the mine, and then Mayday's like, "This mine is different than ones I've seen before."
That was him.
But I'm sure it's the same. It's the same. That's
They all work the same.
Yeah, it made me laugh so hard. I was like, man, that's funny. I was like, you're really trusting your life with this dude right now. I was like, that's awesome. But no, I think my favorite line, and this kind of goes back to how I thought that shit. I'm still on the Barton train. It's not Barton, but
Bubble.
Fuck. What did we just say his name was, Colton? God damn it. Why am I blanking already again? Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan. Yeah. He has a line right there towards the end, right? Like before or after, something like that. Before yours, where he says, "He is expendable, as are you." And dude, this sucks because nobody can actually see what's going on.
I know, nobody can see what's happening, and it makes it very funny. No, I have a little Babu Frick doll that I was acting like was speaking on the microphone for everybody at home. Babu Frick.
Yeah, no, Nolan says that line of "he's expendable, as are you," and you can just see that like this is clearly like kind of a breaking/turning point for Crosshair. And I just thought that was a really powerful delivered line. That's definitely like the impact it's going to have on Crosshair, I think. And just like what it means to kind of, like Joe said, like you get the full picture of how the Empire views the clones at this point. And not even really just clones, probably their new troopers too. Kind of fucked. So why would you ever do that? I don't know, but
no, I don't get it.
Yeah, so that was my favorite line.
No, I love that. That's a great choice, and it really was an impact. Like that was the moment really where I was like, shoot this motherfucker, like kill his ass right here, right now, please. Joe, we haven't gotten any of your favorites. You've been awfully silent for a while. Let's do some of your favorites. You got favorite character, performance, scene, and line?
Oh yeah, I do. Where do you want me to start? I can
do it in order, buddy. Do favorite character, performance, scene, and then line.
Well, the character, I figure it was pretty easy here. It's Crosshair for the development he sees and him actually thinking for him. I don't know. It's very interesting to see where he's going to go after this, especially. I think, but seeing this journey finally happen to him was awesome, and I think it's what the episode was about. So Crosshair is getting the character nod, but then I think, it's going to D. Bradley Baker, but do you give it to Crosshair? Do you give it to Mayday? And I chose Mayday because he's more of a human, and he actually has to give emotion, and he's explaining all the past of what he's been, there for a year, and actual emotion, and I don't know. He actually did a really good job as Mayday, so I feel that's fair there for the performance. And then my scene, whenever it's like, I think the decision that Crosshair wouldn't have normally made that he made here is that he didn't leave Mayday behind after the avalanche. And like on the rock, whenever Mayday's like, "I'm not going to make it, just leave me." I think if Crosshair is more juiced up and he has more of whatever's in his head telling him to obey, I feel like he might actually just leave him out there and think that he's expendable too, and follow suit like that. But this was a decision that he made on his own, and that's my scene. Is like the avalanche. It's I guess it kind of starts with them figuring out that it's all gear, just in the boxes and stuff like that. But then the avalanche comes, and then Crosshair doesn't leave him behind. He takes him, and then they slowly make their way back to camp. And that was my scene.
I love that. That's a great choice too.
But then my line actually comes out of that scene, and it is whenever Mayday realizes it's just gear in the boxes. And he says, after all the clones have done, after all we've sacrificed, we're good soldiers. We followed orders. And for what? It's like they're repeating, like,
God damn, it was a good episode, man.
Like, I don't know, Crosshair, that's Crosshair's line. He always says, good soldiers follow. It's the line they say whenever they're following orders, whatever. And you see it said by someone who, like, isn't saying it because of their inhibitor chip. They're just saying it because that's just what their life has been. And, like, it's so sad seeing it on, like, the inverse, the other side. But man, I don't know. I really thought for a second that Crosshair was going to find, like, a new group. And, like, Mayday was going to be, like, his new family, sort of thing. Like, they get each other. Like, I even went as far as being like, I don't know, maybe there's like a relationship out of this eventually. Like, they got each other, and it felt like this was an equal to Crosshair sort of thing. Like, I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, does Crosshair finally find a new home? Maybe he doesn't go back to the batch. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he actually, this is his new place. And this is where he's supposed to be. And then no, he's dead.
Mayday died. He's gonna kill another guy. It's just nothing good happens in Crosshair's life, don't you know? Nothing good. But those were all great fucking choices. Me and you did align with the Mayday performance. That's one that I had to go with as well. It's something about the classic clone voice, man. I'm a sucker for it, and it was damn good. But yeah, man, all great choices, and Crosshair was the obvious character nod this week. It's just I don't know how you go any other way with it. But man, it was a banger. It was easily one of the best episodes of the Bad Batch so far. I like the Imperial, like dealing with the dark, gritty Imperial stuff. But there's this thing. Like, whenever one of these episodes comes out of the Bad Batch, everyone's like, wow, that was one of the greatest episodes of Star Wars animation ever. And I'm never going to knock anyone for feeling that way. But me, I'm a sucker for that fun filler, quote unquote, filler shit that the Bad Batch likes to talk about. That Bad Batch fans like to talk about. Like, oh, this week was so useless. Man, it was fun as fuck. What do you want? I don't know. I love it.
Oh, I don't know if you guys talked about it while I was gone, but Crosshair could be used as like a double agent sort of thing. Like, go back as if you're going back to join them, but then once you gain their trust, take Omega and bring her back to us. And that's how
that's a good theory.
Back. Because how the hell were they going to go for Omega before? They don't even know where the hell they are. They just know that Omega is important, but now that they have Crosshair, if Crosshair can be like, hey, I'm going to ping, they're waiting for me to turn my transpond. Does he still have, I don't know. Like, can he contact them? Is that a thing? Like, because Echo turned his transponder off. I feel like Crosshair just turned his off, and they just didn't expect him to ever turn it on again, sort of thing. But, like, maybe he just does turn it back on, and they're like, whoa, this is a message from Crosshair. On, and then that's how they try to get Omega. Ooh, fuck. Okay, well, that's sad. What's the next episode title? Pabu. Ant. Nala says dying next episode, guys. That's my prediction. Nala say is not making it through the episode.
I respect that. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. I'm with you. I don't have many predictions. I love the theory there that you just bit, that Cross, like, that's what they'll use him for, is going back to the Bad Batch and taking Omega. I think that's a great fucking idea. Something we formulated while you were gone was potentially Omega's taken separately while Crosshair's getting experimented on. And it's like a 2-for-1 special. Whenever they go to save Omega, they can just also save Crosshair.
Ooh, okay, I like that too. Okay,
there's a lot of good directions they can go.
I guess if Crosshair's like the double agent sort of thing, it'd be really cool to see like how much the family aspect could get him to not obey. You know, like seeing him constantly struggle with like,
Right.
I'm on a mission, I have to capture Omega, but like obviously I don't want to capture Omega and reveal them, sort of thing. But also at the same time, if they're both there in the like experiment room, you know, and they don't even know Crosshair's there at all, but then Omega, you know, they're just going to save Omega, and then they're like, oh my fucking, what? Like, Crosshair's here too? Like, what? And I don't know, that would be a really cool way for them to reunite. So, I don't know. Because I guess I'm just lost on how they find the Bad Batch or Omega without Crosshair. How does Dr. Hemlock and whoever find Omega?
No, as soon as you said it, that's... I gotta think that's how is Crosshair. Like, that must be why they that must do their choices there. Like, it just makes the most sense for my money.
Okay. Yeah, I dig. I think that's my only prediction I think I wanted to make was that, well, either that and Nala Se is going next episode, only off the title. I think that she's going this season for sure. Or she's going out. I guess not when is the most important. It's just the how that she goes out. I think that's the important part. And she's, I don't know. I really hope that she doesn't give out the last little secret and then they just kill her. I hope it's like she keeps it all in and actually doesn't, I don't know. But man, I don't know. We only got 4 episodes left for the season. That's kind of crazy. 3 more weeks only, because the last 2 come in a pair, right? Or are they separate? Do the last 2 come in a pair, or are they separate? The Summit and Planet United
come out the same day.
Dang, so it's only 3 weeks more. Yeah. Wow. We don't got that much left.
No, we're nearing the end. We are very close. But man, I'm excited. Yeah, that's crazy. We got next week, the week after, and the week after that. Fuck no. Don't leave me, the Bad Batch, not again.
Dunzo, yeah.
Well, it was a good fucking episode, but it's time to talk the highlight of the week for my money. I loved the Bad Batch, and it was goddamn good. But man, when it was 2 a.m. and I was watching this,
all time,
I got a feeling I haven't gotten, like, there was this thing last week, which is fucking insane that anyone would have this take. Now that I think about it even closer deeper, is that there was a take that the Mandalorian had lost the magic that made the show special. We were 1 episode into season 3. I have no idea how you could possibly formulate that take. But this is where we regain that magic. You know, if you felt like it was lost, there's no way you still feel that, right?
No, no. And I've even changed my viewpoint from episode 1. I came in from episode 1 and I'm like, hey, if they keep this pace that they're kind of going, I don't know how much I'm going to like the show. Like, I feel like they're moving too fast and they're way too exposition-y. I don't know. They're very they say what they're doing very blatantly and you don't have to figure it out. And I think the reason why I was thinking that is I'm used to Andor now. You know, like I have seen Andor and I know that that's possible from Star Wars. And I was wanting the next show to be as good as Andor. But I've realized a very, very key difference between the shows is Star Wars can be serious when it wants to, and you know, we can have an Andor show like that. But this show it's just for fun, for adventure,
purpose.
It's not, you know, it's to be with the Bad Batch. That's why it's releasing with the Bad Batch. Wednesday morning cartoons. You can throw on the Mandalorian too for an extra, like, even better bit of fun. You know, fun. Like, it's fun instead of locking in for a serious emotional roller coaster with Andor.
Well, dude,
you know?
What's crazy to me is I'm sitting here. I remember season 1 being just fucking, and season 2 being gripped and feeling like Grogu was in actual danger, you know, like at moments being like, and in the back of my head going, he's fine. He's making all their money. They're not going to kill the fucking baby. But it still grips you in a way where you're like, but like, don't do anything to him. Don't hurt him. Don't touch his little hand. No, I need my to be okay. You know, I got that feeling again this week where whenever like Grogu was on his lonesome after Din gets taken, I went like, no, like
the little
no.
thing reaching out for him, that like lizard dragon thing, like chasing after him. I'm like, man, I don't know. And then what are those big creatures called? I feel like they have a name to them.
Oh,
Alamites.
no. Yeah,
Alamites?
yeah.
Like, he kind of surprised himself there with the Alamite thing. You know, I think like after his reaction is kind of like, oh shit, I actually did that sort of thing.
I'm like that.
Yeah, no, like he felt very much in danger. Like, he was scared himself. And I think whenever you see the fear on Grogu, like, you're scared, especially whenever there's no one else around him. So like, obviously we know he's safe. And he's not going to die, but he could be captured, or he could be, you know, anytime apart from Din or a character that we don't know is bad. That's what we don't want. And Grogu's not going to die, but if he's apart from a character that we know, then that's bad.
Right.
So that's the metric that we have to kind of measure there. But it's back. Mando is back.
Mando's back and fucking banging. Like, after last week where I said something like, it's still rated like a 9 out of 10 on enjoyment, or 8.75 or something. Mm-hmm. And I said that's one of my least favorite episodes of Mandalorian. It's like that shows you just how fucking incredible the show has been, how much I've loved it. To immediately follow one of my least favorite episodes of the show with what is very, very possibly top 3 favorite episodes of this show is fucking crazy. And the fact that it's in the second episode of the season is even crazier. Kyler, how you feeling?
Man, they did some. I don't know, a lot of the things that you'll hear me like mention that like hold a lot of weight with me, or like kind of separate, I guess, an episode from like a grouping of episodes, if that makes sense, in terms of like enjoyment, just like how I'm feeling about it, whatever. Damn, man, like all those little things that I think separated for me in a way, they were present in this one. Like, there were moments where the score I felt like really, really, really shined through, and I've mentioned that in just about probably any episode. I feel like, but like this one, like just some of the beats with the score, it just it should never be understated about what a score can do to any given moment.
The horror
like,
part, the aspect of the eyeball guy, like that score was.
Yeah,
sick.
And I mean, like, even just like Din picking up a helmet, and then like the Mandalorian score kind of like coming on in the background a little bit. You know, the score when he finally comes up on the waters underneath, you know, just some fucking fantastic moments. And then like, I thought Bo-Katan really got a chance to shine in a way I don't know I've seen her be able to in the show up until this moment. And I don't even mean just like action-wise or anything. Like, I thought there were some, I thought there were some character moments with her that just really went a long way with me. And just, man, like, just some moments that really, really packed in.
There's so many people that still have the misconception that Bo-Katan is a villain, that she is the bad guy.
They're marketing it that way, though. It's very Din versus Bo-Katan. Like, in all the like, it's always their helmets that are side to side, but like, it's never
right. But even then,
it's
different than it's like, there's a difference between being the antagonist and being a villain. You know, like you can be who our protagonist is facing and be fine.
I don't think she's an antagonist either. Like, the antagonist is the armorer now. Like, I feel.
Well, that's what I was saying. This episode served as the episode that should make everyone go, this is not who you are rooting against. You know, this person is a good guy. This person is helping Din every chance she gets. She is caring for and teaching things to Grogu. She's like, I loved Bo-Katan in this episode, and I've enjoyed Bo-Katan as a character in the past. This episode worked wonders for me as far as being like, oh, I like that character. You know, I've always thought she was interesting.
She's a little harsh with Grogu. She can tone it down a little bit and be a little nicer when she talks to Grogu. Other than that, like, I don't know. I think like whenever she was like, I need you to navigate me to Din. Like, can you do that? You know, like, and I'm like, hey, whoa, watch your tone there, Bo-Katan. Like, okay, like.
Now that's about to be Grogu's. That's about to be Grogu's mom.
Yeah, I know. So I guess Grogu's got to be talked to sternly sometimes. But in this case, you got to calm the kid down and be like, hey, let's go find Din. You know, like, lead me to him. Like, you know where he is. Let's go get, you know, not like, lead me to him, kid. But no, that was the only gripe I had of Bo-Katan this week, was that she was a little too harsh to Grogu. But other than that,
my absolute favorite thing about the grown people talking to Grogu is that they speak like he'll respond. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan, like when Grogu shows up by himself, he goes, "What happened to him?" You expect Grogu to be like, well, check this shit out. Okay, so we were over on Mandalorian, and like,
actually, let me tell you real quick. I see. I don't know. Well, I guess like sometimes it's that he's just such a curious little being that you just have to ask some questions. But like other times where it's like you were expecting a response there, and like you knew that you weren't going to get one.
You were going to get one. Oh, and that's what's there's also this really cool thing about the way like I love that we're getting more Grogu communicating, even if it's not verbal. Like it's he lets out like a real soft, like a really not a soft, a pungent whine whenever R5 gets out and is like whenever his like little thing like disappears and he's like, oh god, like
he's way more vocal.
About to happen.
Yeah, he's way more vocal.
But then there's this other part where when Din gets out in his pressurized suit and he walks away, I have no idea what makes Din's not looking at him. Din's not Grogu doesn't make a sound. He turns around and he goes, "It's okay, buddy. Like I'll be fine."
Oh. Well, I think it was to mirror Anakin telling, "Hey R2, stay with the ship." Like it's just to give you that extra. Like every time someone says "stay with the ship," I'll be right back. You know it's not.
Yeah, no, I get you. In my head it sounded like he was responding to something though. It didn't sound like he was just like, "Stay with the ship, it'll be fine." It sounded like he was going, "It's okay. Like I'll be all right." Like,
okay, I did want to ask if there is something going on mentally. Like, it kind of feels at some points that Din, it's either that he's been with him long enough that he can read him very well and read his emotions and, you know, like, and he's just assuming what Grogu is meaning. But there were some times in the episode where, like, they were kind of having a conversation.
Like, yeah, there's this important line that Ahsoka says about the way Grogu communicates in Chapter 13, The Jedi, where she says, like, Din goes, "Is he talking?" And she goes, "No, not really. We can feel each other's thoughts." And we were just discussing how effectively Grogu might be able to do something like that. I could see him being able to project feelings, not like, I don't think Din will be able to pick up like full sentences out of what he's saying or full stories, but Grogu being like, "I'm fucking frightened." I feel like he's powerful enough to project that, and Din able to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. No, I get that. No, because they were definitely communicating. At least, or Din is just very, very good at picking up, and he just knows Grogu by now. But I swear, Grogu said, "I have a bad feeling about this." Grogu said, "I have a bad feeling about this" in this episode, and it's right. But like, whenever Bo-Katan is like, "Actually, you know what? I'll take you to the living waters," to Din. She's like, "You know what? Actually, yeah, I'll take you. You'll never make it on your own." It focuses on Grogu, and he kind of speaks a little bit, and I swear, it's all around, you know. I have a bad, it's said everywhere, you know, and right. I could have sworn, like, I watched the first time, and I guess I had the thought in my head of like, oh, I got a bad feeling. Like, I had that thought in my head myself, and then it focuses on Grogu, and then he kind of babbles, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I don't know, is that intentional? Like, but I think I even marked I thought I marked the time down because I was gonna maybe choose it for my quote for the episode, if we could agree that he did say, "I got a bad feeling about this," or I guess I could just go with the Baba whatever, you know, whatever he he says.
Yeah, no, if you want to do that, go for it. I just absolutely did not hear that. That's very funny.
I mean,
That is
no,
very funny.
like it sounded nothing like I have a bad feeling. It was just his little language and his little baboops and whatever.
That's what you feel like he would be
like,
saying.
That's what he's saying in the situation. So like
I
the
get
line
it. Okay,
itself
I did
is
that.
just babu bop bop whatever. But I swear, like there's nothing else that he could be saying right there. I don't know. I gotta try to find it.
Let's go with favorite line for a second, though, if that's what you're debating at the moment. I have an easy favorite line, and it's not like there are a lot of really good lines in this episode. There was just one that resonates with me because I love when Din is referred to as Grogu's father.
Yeah,
like he is his dad. It's when Bo-Katan goes, "Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" I fucking loved that. There's a few things that just like Din's his dad, all in.
And they refer to Grogu as his kid too.
Yeah,
like
well, and there's also
his...
this part where Din's already like your Mandalorian.
Yeah,
this is where
his lessons. Yeah, like this is where we come from.
Where people are from. I loved that. I like, and I'm never gonna stop loving him treating Grogu as his son. That's always going to resonate with me. I'm always going to love it whenever he talks to him like he's a Mandalorian, like he's his child. I fucking love it. So I had to go with Bo-Katan saying, "Did you think?" Because it's not just like they put that off. Everyone knows. Like it's like, well, that's clearly his son.
Yeah. And I didn't know. Like, I guess I didn't really focus in on like that he's trained, like he's a Mandalorian youngling at this point. Like it is just as if he's a Jedi youngling right now. He's being trained in the ways of the Mandalore, like right now. And like whenever he's sitting in the cockpit, like teaching him his lessons, like I start to realize that I'm like, yeah, like he's wearing that chainmail Beskar, and I didn't like I don't know, it's just not hitting me quite yet. But like this episode, it was like, yeah, no, he is being trained right now, and it was awesome to see like the stuff that he's learned from Luke already coming in so handy. Like the eyeball creature. Can we give him a name so we can refer to him as something? Because I don't know what to call. Like, what do we want to call this fucker?
Shithead.
I was gonna say David.
Shithead.
Shithead or David? Well, I guess either or. So Shithead David sends a little electric fire thing towards Grogu, and he has to flip off of the rock to land in his little lander thing, and it's just like, that's like the main thing he learned from Luke, just jumping around with a little blast, blaster thing shooting him. It's like
him jumping out to like, dude, I loved when he jumped out to greet Pelly. That was so fucking cute.
Where's my guy? Where's my guy? And he pops out.
He goes,
boom. Yeah, and then flies. Yeah, dude can leap.
Where'd you learn to leap like a lerman? I fucking love Pelimoto. Give me Pelimoto and everything. I don't give a fuck. We also get a quick little mention of Boba Fett, interestingly enough, giving us an indicator that at this point, Boba Fett is still on Tatooine, or at least operating out of Tatooine. Kind of hilarious that they would dedicate entire episodes of the Book of Boba Fett to the Mandalorian, and then they would go to the place where Boba Fett is at and not even show him. Super fucking funny.
It is Boonta Eve, and I feel like them specifically saying it's Boonta Eve is just the easiest way for when Book of Boba comes around. When it's Boonta Eve and Book of Boba, you'll be like, oh, this is when Din came in to grab R4 and just left. It's just kind of like a cool like thing in the background sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Because they specifically are like, yeah, it's Boonta Eve sort of thing. And I feel like it's a cool.
I'm just imagining Boba attending the Boonta Eve pod race.
Yeah, like we're seeing that. He's Jabba the Hutt. He's there.
He's in that spot. Yeah,
the big guy. So like obviously we're not going to see Bo. We would, if we're seeing him, we would see him there. Or I guess maybe he doesn't go. Maybe he changes
Boonta
it.
Eve Classic.
Because the race. Wait, they celebrated it with pod racing though. That wasn't pod racing. That was just like a little drag race that was going on there. That wasn't
Yeah,
the
it
pod.
wasn't.
That
It
pod
wasn't.
race.
That wasn't
People
it at the moment. I don't think. I think it's a big festivity. There's a lot going on for Boone to Eve. It's just I
it
kind
was
of
kind of
take
nice
it to be.
pod races in the morning or daytime.
Yeah,
Probably.
I kind of take it to be like New Year's.
Mm.
Kind of how I take Boone to the way they celebrate it
Oh, yeah.
is like because we don't celebrate. I know that people celebrate Christmas Eve, but what they're celebrating is Christmas. You know, like
Yeah.
Boone, like they're saying it's Boone to Eve, and we've only ever heard Boone to Eve, not Boone Day. You know, like it's not today's Boonta.
True.
Woo! Let's have a good time today, guys. It's Boonta. Everybody getting the Boonta spirit. Nah, it's Boonta Eve, baby. And what do we celebrate? We celebrate New Year's Eve. We don't celebrate New Year's. Fuck New Year's. We're celebrating the day before the New Year because that's when we get fucked up. And I know that's what Tatooineans be up to on Boonta Eve. I got no doubt. And I love that Pelly's just scamming motherfuckers. Like, yeah, this will take 2 months. It's going to take 5 minutes. She's getting paid for 2 months of work. Fuck yes. I love Pelly.
Oh no, she's a scammer till she'll die. I don't know. She's either fucking the Jawas, you know, and that's just they're just in, and I don't know. She's basically a Jawa. She speaks it very well. Also, like we're reminded of that again. You know, she speaks Jawa fluently, and I love how she's speaking. Yeah, memory unit. Like she'll speak Jawa and then like memory circuit or something like that. Like she just spoke straight English at the end. But no, that was kind of cool to like Tatooine is like they're kind of popping off now. Like if this guy is coming, like people were super poor on Tatooine and like wouldn't have this ship and like he's like dressed that Trandoshan or not Trandoshan. I don't think
Rodian.
Rodian, yeah. Was like kind of kitted out. Like he's looking kind of
My headcanon. This is the Rodian that rolled with Anakin when he was a youngin when he was building his speeder, his pod racer.
Yep,
this is that Rodian.
Yep. I fully agree. There's no, I don't know. They're obviously putting in a lot of references from the prequels and everything. Like with R5 being Mando's droid now, like just straight up, yeah, that dude never left Tatooine. He's just been there the whole time. Now Pele gave him to Mando, and now he's going to go on their adventure. You know, I guess
I still passionately believe that Din was made for a BD unit. Like BD1, like feels like he would roll with one of those so fucking easy. And Grogu could have a little buddy. They're like the same size.
Aspect too, like it could be. He's useful. You know, BD1 is like he's so or not BD1 is just BD droids. They're so useful and so cute. Yeah. And Grogu could just like sit on top of. It'd be so cute them together. Like, but. R5, I am so excited for R5 because I want to know if they're going to treat him like R2 and have him see all of the super important events that R2, because R2 sees everything that happens. Like everything that you think is important, R2 pretty much sees it. And R5 was sitting in the background for a lot of big things. And, you know, and I really, I don't know. I mean, I had him as maybe a favorite character, but it's just for my excitement to start watching him mainly. But that's the thing. They're setting him up for him to watch everything because they literally show him bolt into the ship after Bo-Katan lands and then watch Grogu and Bo-Katan on like the screen. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask you guys if like, is that just a camera on the ship that he just like sees him leave, or like is that like their way of saying like he just can see wherever they go, you know, sort of thing?
No, yeah, I had the same thought. I was like, so this guy's gonna watch them walk as far as he can see them walk away, and then that's it. I have no idea how the mechanics of it. My favorite idea that they didn't portray it as, but I would have liked, is if Grogu's little fucking thing has a little camera in it, so that if anything, he can like, if Din needs to separate from Grogu for whatever fucking reason, I know he wouldn't want to, but if like something happened, like at least he can see where Grogu's prim is, you know, like that's kind of how I think it'd be cool if he had a little camera in it.
The little light that he has on the front though, how cute was it that Din turned on his light and then Grogu like seconds later, like got it, you know?
And then there's that part later whenever Bo-Katan's like, I know you're afraid. Like, and that's one of the times when I was like, see, Bo-Katan's got this shit. She's pretty cool. She's like, I know you're frightened, but I need you to take me to Din. And the way that he
on the ship, she was all good. And like, why didn't she do that down in the caves whenever it was actually scary and with the actual monsters? You know, like you did it up in the ship when it was easy. But come on, Bo-Katan, you got to calm the kid down in the cave. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. They're in the cave, and Grogu like stops in his tracks, and Bo-Katan goes, "I know you're frightened."
Wait, really?
Yeah. And then he flicks on his little light switch. And he's like, let's do it. And Bo-Katan's like, okay. And turns on her light, too.
I guess maybe not it's like, you know, they go down into Sundari a little bit, and then they go down that one little bit extra, but they're not in the caves yet. It's just like that one place. You're talking about like...
It's the little green-eyed fuckers that he like stops at and is like, oh, God, that's fucking freaky.
I could have sworn at that moment she kind of snaps at him a little bit, and Grogu gives her like kind of like a.
I don't know what that was, but that shit was awesome. I want
Grogu
more of
gave
whatever that
Bo-Katan
was.
a hiss. Yeah, Grogu was
like
mad at Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look and see.
When was I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing the things, but I thought it happened then. I don't know.
Man, that shit that you're talking about, Joseph, that was
he
awesome.
Hissed at her. Yeah, no, he hissed at
made
Bo-Katan.
a grumbly type something or other. I don't know what it was, but it was awesome. It was awesome. Whatever that noise was, he needs to do it more often.
I love it. Nah, yeah, that's ultimately all this considered is why I went with Grogu as my favorite character of the episode. Because not only does he get a lot of really fucking adorable, cute moments, they show his capability already. You know, like this kid travels to a different planet, picks someone up, and then he goes back and leads her to his dad. Like, fuck yeah, this kid's got it on lock. He's a good good little handyman down there.
Okay, so I found the clip, and we're both kind of right. But we're taking it opposite directions. Like, she does say, I know you're frightened. She says, I know that you're frightened, but I need you to guide me to him. And then Grogu just goes, he growls. Like, I mean, it says sputters in the closed captioning, but he looks mad. And whenever you hear it from Bo-Katan, like, her tone is kind of a little snappy. Like,
okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't take it as a response to Bo-Katan. I took it as like a fuck. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And that's how it kind of took it, but I don't know. Like, after he hissed, like, yeah, I don't know. He really like. I guess it could be like, man, yeah, you're right. All right, let's go.
Because he immediately flicks on the light switch and is like, let's do this shit, I guess.
Oh no, he flicks on the light and he goes, and then goes like he's mad at her. He's not happy with her. Yeah, no,
it seemed like something. I've never heard him make a noise.
Yeah, he growled, and then he turns on his light.
I described it as a snarl.
Yeah,
because I put in there, I know that you're frightened, but I need you to guide me.
And I completely missed it.
Yeah, so it's right after she says, I know that you're frightened, but I need you to guide me.
You're right about the line. You're totally right.
Grogu, I put Grogu snarl. I don't know. It doesn't, like, in hindsight, it's probably not like an anger at her. It's probably more of like a, like, determined, like, okay, I gotta be tough here type thing. Like, like, I don't know, but it was unlike any noise I've ever heard him make. It was awesome.
It's at 27 flat, pretty much, in the episode, if you want to look at it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just Bo-Katan. She's just, like, Din, he knows to talk very softly to him. You know, he turns around whenever, because he does the little thing, he babbles before she says, I know that you're frightened. He gives a little, like a little, like, I'm scared, and then she goes, I know that you're frightened. But we need to find Din, But, like, Din would have turned around and been like, oh, buddy, like, I know you're scared, but it's gonna be okay. We'll find, like, you just have to talk to him different. He's a kid, sort of thing. So I think it's not that Bo-Katan was trying to just be like, oh, I hate you, Grogu. We need to find Din. It was just like, she's on her mission, and she just doesn't know how to quite, I don't know, deal with Grogu quite yet.
I get you. But, let me, I had to update my Disney Plus app, so that's why I took so long to fucking get here.
Yeah, he lets out, it says babble, or whimper. He whimpers, and he stops, and Bo-Katan turns around. and then he lets out one more babble. I know that you're frightened, but I need you to guide me to him. And then sputters. And, yeah.
I need you to guide me to him.
Ah, man, I think she handled that well. Yeah,
look at
snarl.
Grogu's
Okay.
reaction, and look what he does after. Look what he does before he turns on his light and when he storms off. Like, he kind of storms off a little bit. He's kind of like, you know what? All right, whatever. Let's find him. I'll lead the way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that literally the only thing that's different is that I was taking what you were saying as blaming Bo-Katan for the way Grogu was reacting.
Oh yeah, no.
No, that's all.
Well,
that's all that's different. I even rewatching the scene, I think Bo-Katan doesn't snap. Like that's the only thing I don't agree with there.
She doesn't snap, but it's not what Grogu was expecting. It's not what he's used to, I guess, you know. So it's not either of their fault. Or like I'm not blaming her, like I don't like hate her or like, Bo-Katan, you need to chill out because of this sort of thing. Like she's awesome the rest of the episode. Like I hope that she is the mother to Grogu, like eventually, you know. Like I want her and Din together and unite with Grogu, unite the Jedi and the Mandalorians together. Let's do it. That's what I want. So, I need her to, I guess be more motherly with Grogu right now in his infant stages, because he won't be a baby forever, you know? I don't know. He's not going to be a baby forever.
No, yeah, no, that's just funny. I just couldn't, it's just funny how differently we can read scenes like that every once in a while. But, Katie Sackhoff gets my performance though as Bo-Katan. I thought she did fucking incredible. She was so fucking good. I thought Bo-Katan was so goddamn likable in this episode, and I think that there was just so much nuance in her performance.
Whenever she's doing the Darksaber stuff, is that her or is that a stunt person in there? I guess I've never thought about that, but like, and that doesn't matter, but like for her like character too, like seeing just how effortless she was with the Darksaber compared to Din. Like Din lit it and it was funny almost how like it just slowly like went down. Like he lit it up and had it like upright and then it just slowly went down to the ground and like it was so heavy.
Man. She is a fierce fighter. Like I really like her like fight styles and like aggression. Like she is on a different level hand to hand than Din is at currently.
Well, what I also love is that the way the armorer describes it in the Book of Boba Fett is being like basically oneness, like knowing who you are, what you want, and like
it is an extension of you. You know,
like you channel that into the wielding of it. Okay, I like that. I remember that. I guess I just didn't really think about it.
Well, and that's what's interesting about the division between them is that Bo-Katan is very like, that's it. I'm done. I want to be alone and I'm fucking tired of this, you know? And that is how she feels. There is no other way around it. That is how she feels. Din is like, I guess it's time for me to go back to the mines of Mandalore and I guess it's time for me to redeem myself. I mean, that seems like the right thing to do at this time. Like that's kind of the way that I approach, like, cause there is something really cool about Din and Bo-Katan in this episode where they kind of gleam off each other a little bit of their sensibilities. Like Bo-Katan starts to kind of see things his way, but like is reminded of the way that she once felt about Mandalore, and now it's lost to her. Like that, what she once had is gone. Din never had it though. It just is. It's the way of the Mandalore, you know, like it doesn't matter if the planet's still there or not. The way still exists. And she kind of admires that. But he also sees that part whenever she's like, and my dad died, you know, defending Mandalore. And he's like, yo, respect.
He almost breaks.
Dope.
Like he choked up. He was like, dang. He's like, I would have liked to meet your father. He sounds like an interesting man. And it's like, Bo-Katan was like, no, he was a great man. And he died defending Mandalore. And he was like, I don't know, it felt like he kind of choked up a little bit. And that, I am really struggling to not give it to the performance to Bo-Katan just because of, she has her helmet off and we can actually see her, you know.
Emote.
It's like she has to actually act too. Pedro Pascal is just voice acting, and is he in the suit the whole time?
No, not all the time.
Yeah,
He's in it sometimes.
So like on the scale of who did more, like, yeah, no, I don't like, I feel wrong giving it to Pedro Pascal this episode.
When
But
Katie
like,
Sackhoff did what she did.
yeah, exactly. That's like kind of where I am. But Din is like, he is our narrator. Like he says everything to Like Grogu is us. We are Grogu. Grogu's the audience, and like everything is explained to Grogu so that it can be explained to us. It is very like the story, like that storytelling technique. Like, I don't know, it's very useful. It just works for the episode. Sometimes it can just sound like kind of they're just saying what is happening like very blatantly. I don't know. I really like it. Like I feel like Pedro Pascal balances it well enough to where it doesn't sound like just pure narration. But that's what
it sounds. Like, it sounds like he's teaching, yeah. And I like, and the same thing goes for Bo-Katan at a couple points. Whenever she's like, "It wasn't always like this," like, and then there's just one so extremely exposition-y line. Whenever she's like, "I want to make sure you get the full tour." Let me read this entire plaque to you.
Like,
which I get, and you have to do it for the understanding of a general audience. But it was just very funny.
I don't know. It does also show that she's very mocking of it right now, though. And I think it's going to be very different next episode. Like, she was mocking it seconds before she saw she was mocking the idea of a mythosaur being in there. She sees the mythosaur down there. She's going to be like, maybe I read this plaque with a little more sincerity this time. Maybe actually I read into this a little more. So, like, and I talked to Colton about this, maybe a little hidden imagery in the episode that I found just through screenshotting multiple things of the episode. And whenever they're in the caves, and they have their little headlamps and whatever, Bo-Katan, since she doesn't have her helmet on, she doesn't have like a headlamp, she has this kind of little ball that she floats into the air and follows her around. And it's her light ball. But when they're all together, Grogu has his on his little thing, Din has his on his helmet, and Bo-Katan has hers up in the air and her thing. And every time they're walking together, every time you see their lights on screen, it's in a diagonal line. Like, straight, they are all lining up. It is Grogu at the bottom, and then it goes to Mando, and then it goes to Bo-Katan's up and further. And it happens, like, for the entire time that she turns that they enter the big entrance, like the actual entrance of the caves, and from that moment till they get down to the waters, like they line up perfectly every time. And I don't know if you can see this in my little monitor, but like you see like the three white, just they're lining up perfectly in a line, and they do it every single time they walk into the living waters. They're lined up perfectly again, and even whenever Din's walking into the waters himself, they're lined up that way. And I'm trying to think, like, why? Like, it's cool that I guess they're lining up. I'm like, is there something, meaningful to this? And the second that, like, Bo-Katan, it's seen, like, her light isn't seen whenever Din is entering the living waters. And I think, like, their lights are representing, like, their spark or, like, their belief, their faith sort of thing. And Din and Grogu, their lights are on, shining bright, right next to their head. Bo-Katan's is distant, far away from her, off screen right now even.
Yeah, right.
And then the second she goes into the water, her light turns on, like, cause she has to, cause she's entering the water. That's when her light turns on in her helmet. She puts her helmet on, her light turns on, she comes out of the water, and then finally the one time that they're not lined up is whenever Din is below Grogu and Bo-Katan, but Bo-Katan has her light, like, on her head now, sort of thing. And it's like this,
gotcha.
I don't know. And, like, I don't know if I'm reading too far into it here. It's just three little lights that are lining up, whatever.
No, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think that even if stuff is coincidence, if you can manage to find a meaning in it, it's meaningful. It doesn't have to be intended. If you glean that from it, like, that's a very apt representation of what happens in the episode, is that she slowly gains a little bit of a spark again for what her culture once was and what she feels she's lost. She sees, like, that's what I think could be really, really fulfilled. Like, cause I'm not a big fan of the idea that everything has to be romantic. Like, everything has to be, a love story. But it's been a while since we've had a Star Wars love story that just paid off like a normal love story, and I would love it if Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are actually heading that way. That would be absolutely fucking awesome for me. I am shipping them extremely hard right now.
What's their ship name? It's kind of hard.
Bowden, because it's Bowden well. For me.
Bowden? Is that what we're going with? Bowden?
No. Bo-Djarin, Din Katan.
Din Katan. That sounds like the best so far. Bo-Djarin. No.
Bo-Djarin Horseman.
Din Katan.
Dinbo. Like himbo. Dinbo.
Joe,
that's pretty cute.
Joe, did you say your favorite line?
No, actually. Not yet.
Sorry,
I thought it was
if you can accept Grogu's
I'll take it, but what's your other option? Like what?
The other one I was going with is whenever Din is talking to Bo-Katan and he says, "Without the creed, what are we? What do we stand for? Our people are like this line that he says in the trailer about like how his people are scattered in the like stars in the galaxy sort of thing. And I thought it just gave a really good insight to where Din's head is right now. You know, it's why he still believes in the creed, I guess, right now.
Right.
It's because it's all he knows, and even if he sees the flaws in it a little bit right now, he still sees that it at least held his group together. You know, whether it held all the Mandalorians together, I don't know, but it at least gave him a sense of community and home in something.
Well,
so that was
that's
like
also part of the creed, is that they, like, the Armorer has taught her cult that if you don't abide by the way, we are fucked. We are going to die.
True. That's true. Yeah. I guess it's very biblical. Like, I mean, there's so many biblical, like, references they're making here. And, like, I don't know, like, how, like, deep they're gonna go with, like, the faith and all of this stuff, but it feels like it's a pretty big part of the story. At least right now. Like, I guess the big things that come out of this, I always thought that, like, Din was gonna be the one that's riding the Mythosaur. I think, like, Bo-Katan tames the Mythosaur instead. And Din, he stays the Mandalorian, he stays with the Darksaber until one day he hands it down to Grogu. And that's Din's thing. He will lead the people, but I hope Bo-Katan and Din lead them together, but I think Bo-Katan is the one who comes out and tames the Mythosaur again. I think Grogu's probably the one who does it, but Bo-Katan will be the one for the story, and she will
There's actually a little theory that Kyler DM'd me earlier, just like a little bit ago while we were doing this podcast.
I sent it to Joe too.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Yep.
Where it's the picture of Charlie Day with all the fucking threads from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like he's going crazy, he's formulating, you know. And it said, what if the Mythosaur woke up from 1,000-year sleep because it felt the rightful ruler of Mandalore in the waters?
Oh. Has it been... it's been down there the whole time.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I guess... Oh, wait, you're right. Yeah. So,
and then...
do Mythosaurs just live for that long? Or, like, is the water keeping him alive?
Do you know there's no telling? I have no fucking clue about that.
Like,
but,
do Mythosaurs just live? Do they just not even die? Is that like a thing, you know? Like,
I have no
or
idea.
Maybe
I couldn't tell you anything about a Mythosaur, if I'm being for real.
I guess my thought, there's not... This creature, David and Shithead David. Shithead David, that dude had so many Mandalorian helmets in his little lair. Like, his specific thing. That dude has drained so many Mandalorians of their blood. Like, I don't know. Like, all those helmets down there, I don't think were from the Purge. Like, I don't know. Like, all of them, some of them were from the Purge and whatever.
This was a hell of a week for an easy-to-hate Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude. That little cockroach shithead David, dude. Fuck him. That's what we should have called him, Cockroach, the way he fucking scurried off like a little cockroach.
You know what we should have called him? You know what we should have called him? Crispin.
Yep, facts.
You missed that, Joe. That was something while you were gone.
Yeah, well, there's a theory out. It's not totally confirmed, but it's almost there.
If there's one more, it's confirmed.
Yep, correct.
And we're gonna keep you in the dark on that one. But
I'll do my own. I don't remember. I'll have to
regardless,
look into that one.
no, yeah, Shithead David, super fucking cool character design, and very, very, like, for some reason called to the prequels for me, like in my nostalgia bone. I was like, yeah, this feels Attack of the Clones. Like, the only thing that could have made this scene more Attack of the Clones is if the cave was like red, like redder. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think it's a lot of people are like, oh, it's Grievous because he has a lot of Grievous tendencies, and he's the thing is, it does sound like Grievous though a little bit. I don't know if it's in my head, but like it sounds like an even more droided out version of Grievous. But I think it's just they're just pulling inspiration from him.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't mean it has to be Grievous. It's just like we have a really cool character
reminiscent of Grievous. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and there's also the thing that, like, I know logic is going to get us killed out here, but how the fuck and why the fuck? You know? What? How the fuck would that be Grievous, and why on earth would it be Grievous?
How does Grievous absolutely blow the fuck up and is left on the other side of the
Utapau, you know?
Like, and he ends up on Mandalore sucking the blood of Mandalorians? I don't know about that. My theory, if it's anyone that we know, pre-Vizsla is my guess. Maul kills him and somehow someone holds onto his body and fucking...
See, that makes that makes very little sense, but at least it makes more sense than fucking Grievous.
I don't believe in it at all, really whatsoever. I'm just, if it is anyone at all, the only reason I say that is because the eyeball itself, that's the thing, the thing that's making me sort of think it's someone important is the eye changes colors and it goes to yellow. Like, it goes to the Sith yellow, and it's not because of the shield that's in front of it. Like, it is blue. The main color of the eye is blue, normally. But like, there are some times where it is yellow. Like, I mean, yellow, like Sith yellow almost.
Crazy. Okay. Roll with me. I don't believe this one bit, but if we're doing it, let's do it. This is Tar Vizsla. And Tar Vizsla became a Sith before the end of his life and imbued his consciousness into this droid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Or this is the actual last remaining bit of real Palpatine after he got blown up, after Vader threw him down. This is the actual last remaining bit of Palpatine's body.
He accidentally, he was aiming for Exegol when he transferred his consciousness, but it got sidetracked and stopped at Mandalore.
Oh no, this isn't Palpatine anymore. It's just like the leftover body that's just living.
Oh, you literally mean the part that got blown up from the Death Star.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Or hear me out, it's Cockroach Shithead Dave. He's a piece of shit.
It's just David. I really hope it's just we don't get any more on him at all, and he's just a character
dude, he fucking sucked. He was the worst. Fuck that dude.
I promise we're not going to deal anymore with Shithead David. This is it for Shithead David.
Like, he's not... They didn't kill him, though. Like,
we got two terrible ass characters in Star Wars this week, and guess what? They both died in the same episode. Thank fucking God.
No, I want to think he's dead,
that
dude.
shit. Normalize that shit. That's how Toto should be the next time he shows up on my fucking screen.
I don't know if he's dead, man. I don't know if you can just... It looks like it, and cinematically, it makes sense. Storytelling,
all right,
whatever.
Who do you think has a better chance of being alive? Cad Bane or this guy, Shithead David?
This guy. No, Cad Bane. Oh, sorry, Cad Bane. I thought Toto was in my head. Cad Bane is more of a chance of being alive than this guy.
Okay. I'll accept that then. I'll accept it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't really want to fully believe in it, but they were very, I don't know.
That shows me just how delusional you can be, Joe, because there is far better chance this guy's alive than Cad Bane.
You think that this guy's alive than Cad Bane? The little beep on Cad Bane's thing, I don't know. Like, the little something's being sent out, and I don't, why do they put that there?
I get it. Like, I get what you're saying. No, I just,
and the only thing that's keeping me that he's alive is that they didn't slice the eye itself. Like, because whenever she killed the Grievous looking body and stabbed it in the heart, just like Grievous, whatever, it just crawled out and was fine. It just needed its brain and eyeball to live. And then whenever she kills the big mech, she just slices off the big head of the mech, but the eye itself and the whole brain thing is still
And you
safe.
see, that's why I think this guy has a better chance of being alive than Cad Bane, because Cad Bane got stabbed in his body.
Yeah, so did Reva, so did, with a lightsaber twice. And then Cad Bane is an alien who probably has 3 different stomachs and 4 different sets of lungs and 5 different, he can be anything. He's Cad, he's not a human. I
hope Toto, I hope we get just a 45-second short of Toto pulling up on Cad Bane as he lays there dying, going, oh no, Cad, how can I help you? Please let me save you. And then Cad pulls out a gun, shoots his ass, and then shoots himself.
Wow.
Yes.
Disney is definitely doing that. I've never been more on board with a prediction you've made.
It will be animated by Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
Here for it.
I guess I'm kind of out there. I really just want to believe that everyone who's dead isn't, because it just makes it so much more interesting.
Right.
It's way more fun. But I really hope that this guy is just dead. And the reason I hope he's dead is because I want characters that can just pop up like this and die. I want just wacky characters like this all the time, because it's Star Wars and you can do that. So
yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. Yeah, I never want you to feel like I'm trying to dim your light, bro. No, you keep shining. You shine like a fucking diamond out here, bro. Be on your Rihanna shit. But let's how many more favorites do we have? I know I've done favorite performance and character and Katie Sackhoff and Grogu. My line was did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian? What about you guys? I don't think I've said my scene, but
I haven't done any.
You go ahead, Kyle.
You start. You kick this shit off.
Yeah.
My line was, where is it? Sorry. It was Bo-Katan. She says, "Your kid, he's tougher than he looks, and he's quite the navigator." Kind of along the same lines of Colton, where it's like, did you think your dad, like your kid? Because I'm sure that made Din smile for a minute. And then also, I love the fact that he's been trying to teach him the importance of literally just about anything in these episodes, but he had specifically this episode been talking about
Mandalorians have to be able to read maps really good.
Yeah,
because if we can read maps, we know the places to go to.
You're never lost.
Yeah, he's kind of dumbing it down there. But anyway, yeah, that lesson that he gave Grogu, and then hearing that immediately in the same episode was just I'm sure that was a really big
proud dad moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the word I was looking for.
That's why
I really like that.
I don't even need Pedro Pascal to be able to take that fucking helmet off just so I can see him get emotional. I just want to see Din smile, man. That's all. That's all. I want to see him smiling,
Just have his helmet end and only show his mouth, so that we just see when he smiles or is frowning or something. I don't know. The inverse mask.
Yeah, right. Cover everything but your mouth.
Yeah.
No, I dig it though. That was a good choice for a line. Exact same vein as mine, of course. So of course I'm digging it. But yeah, I love that
character. I went Grogu too. I wanted to go Bo-Katan, but I couldn't. So many good little moments for Grogu in this. You can't not.
You and me, same.
But naturally, to swing back to that, I didn't think there was any other performance that stole the show quite like Katie Sackhoff. So I guess I'm kind of just copping the train here.
No.
But that's just what it was.
Just the choice.
That's just what it was. That's just what it was.
Every once in a while, there's an episode where the choice is so obvious you have no choice but to go with it. It's just, and that was what this was this week. And I think that if Grogu hadn't had his own little solo adventure, I definitely would have gone with Bo-Katan for my character. But because Grogu gets to do all this shit on his own, I'm automatically we haven't seen him do shit like this. It's fucking awesome. I love it, So I'm 100% with you. It would have been Bo-Katan if Grogu didn't do the shit he did. But Grogu's Grogu, so I'm a fuck with Grogu.
But performance-wise, like I said, Katie Sackhoff, she killed that. Ooh, girl, you killed that.
I'll take the bullet. Okay, I'll take the bullet and I'll change. I won't give the obvious choices because it is Grogu and Bo-Katan or Katie Sackhoff for this episode. but I'm gonna give my boy R5 love, and I'm not lying. I'm choosing him. I'm for real doing it because this is the start. This is his first mission, and he knows that he's capable now. He's still gonna be a little anxious, still a little rickety. He's gonna shake a little, but he's
definitely getting the axe as soon as he finds that fucking chip. As soon as that chip is
here's my favorite idea. My favorite theory for R5 is that Din flies back to Tatooine and goes, "This droid's a piece of shit. Keep him."
No, if that happens, I'm gonna die. If that happens, no, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I don't.
Well, that's the thing. We've still got the IG-11 thing in the background. You think he's not gonna immediately trade that in?
Droid family. It's better to have multiple droids than just that the astromech. He can just stay in the ship, whatever. He just stays there, and then whenever he needs, come out. BD1, he could just hop in Grogu's little thing.
Where is IG-11 gonna fucking sit in that?
In the cargo. I don't. Is there? Yeah, fuck. I don't know.
In the cargo.
So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get IG-11 his own propulsion system. He doesn't need to breathe. He can just fly.
He just attaches onto the outside of the ship.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Exactly.
He's just guns. He's a turret. Actually,
I like that.
Weapon system. Yeah, there you go.
They're flying through hyperspace, and he sees the Purrgil. He's like, "Enemy approaching."
It's gonna be just like when Drax is hanging out the back of the fucking Milano in Guardians 2. It's gonna be just that.
No, it's gonna be. He's gonna be the ship. He's not.
You think they're gonna? He's gonna upload his
saved.
Consciousness into it like L3 and Solo.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to be saved, or he's gonna sacrifice himself again or something. I don't know. I don't know. I guess.
Or he's
gonna. I forgot about IG-11
and then dive bomb straight into the fucking ground.
But I guess whenever I was going through all these screenshots on Navarro, whenever we get to Navarro, there's an astromech in the background, and I mean it looks exactly like R5, and it sees Din and Grogu, and then it gets scared, turns, and then goes the other direction.
Pelly's spying on
Yes, literally. I actually no, I know. But if that is R5, that's what that means. If that is R5, she just wants to keep tabs on Grogu.
Where's my little guy? She knows.
She knows.
Stop acting like you don't know.
Exactly. But dude, I don't know. It was it had the only thing it didn't show was his where the oil was spilled in the back. That's the very specific thing to R5 where the one thing blue and there's oil. It didn't show that on Navarro. It didn't show there was there's no way to know for sure if it's R5. But I mean it was
I'm pretty sure there's a way to know for sure.
I don't know, man. Dude, it looked like R5.
Sure.
It looked like R5. And he did the little shake. He did a little shake and turned the other way when he saw Din and Grogu. I don't know. I'm going crazy. I think Jon Favreau and Filoni are just making me go crazy. They're putting
you really need to go look at that meme that I sent you on Twitter.
I know. I'm doing it. Look, I know.
My favorite thing, what I love about your theories is that you have the idea that they pay attention to every little fucking detail about the show.
They do. It's Dave Filoni.
Have you heard them talk in interviews?
No. Okay.
They have completely different answers for things.
But big things that need to I guess big things that need to happen over the span of a long time. They do put in little things very early, little early on.
That's implying
Pre-Vizsla's eyeball in a little droid.
Exactly.
Okay, it all comes full circle.
Exactly. Yes. I'm crazy. I fully admit it. I'm not fully lost yet. Odin almost got me there. I will fully admit.
Odin was close. I think we started down this path when Haywood was potentially Ultron. That's
the turning point. That is the turning point right there. I did go a little crazy.
That was an electric time to be a part of this podcast.
We still don't know. We still don't know. So
we
don't know what the fuck White Vision's been up to. So
I think, do we have nothing but scenes left? Favorite scenes? I don't think any of us have given those out.
Mm-hmm. I think that is it. Yeah. Oh, I guess
is moment and scene
R5
different? Is moment and scene different, or am I?
Or shot? I guess.
Oh yeah.
Shot, a specific still frame. Shot, I guess if we are doing that, I don't know if we want to.
Yeah. No, I forgot. Yeah, shots a part of this.
But I guess the scene was hard to just not go with the end.
Yeah.
How do you not just the mythosaur, the baptism?
It was from for me. It was from the moment they entered the mine until the episode ended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm with that. I just said in my notes, my favorite moment was the whole living water scene.
Yeah.
Just Din like reciting this
Yeah.
thing and like slowly walking towards like the score building and then Bo-Katan jetting through the water. How fucking deep is that shit? God damn, man. Can you talk about that? I guess
Did
deep enough to hold a fucking mythosaur, but I
did
mean,
did Din
shit.
fall? Did the mythosaur pull him down, or did he just fall?
No,
No,
he
he
definitely was just
just got.
walking on the ground,
Just
and
fell.
then there was no more ground all
Yeah,
of a
he just
sudden,
fell.
and he
Yeah.
It was.
happens to be wearing like 100 pounds of fucking metal
Do
as
you know
he's
the
fucking.
awesome, weird connection that is like the Last of Us episode when he jumps in the mall and then lands as Joel, Pedro Pascal, like in the mall when it's flooded, and Ellie's like, "How was I supposed to know that you weren't just gonna fall?"
Oh yeah.
And then now he just assumes that there's gonna be a floor in the living waters of like the core of a planet, and like he's in heavy ass armor where he
That's
would
funny.
die if he
That's
does
funny.
fall. So like it would be the one. I don't know. He was just.
Bro takes his jetpack off at the most inconvenient times.
That's the one thing you need right now, like, yeah, that's, but.
Bro, this man, like, I know, like, there was that part in the tragedy, season 2, episode 6, where, like, Boba Fett's like, set your fucking jetpack down, set everything down, put your weapons down, and we'll talk this through, and he does, and then he decides not to pick it back up whenever Grogu's about to be attacked, or, like, taken. So, like, just keep your jetpack on. Just from now on, you should do that.
You should learn. Yeah, Din needs to start learning his lessons,
Right?
Learning from his mistakes. But I guess
You know who always learns his lessons from his mistakes?
Who?
Iron Man. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just making a play on the
Oh, you're
fucking
right,
stupid ass tweets that always get put out there. That's like,
Look
this
at Tony's
man,
45th
Tony Stark.
upgrade to his Mark 45, and he from this little thing that he learned, and he implemented it in his suit. I mean,
bro,
kind of cool, but.
No, it is. It is kind of corny because it's like a Twitter trope.
Played, and everyone thinks they're making an original take whenever we've seen it 60 fucking times.
Yeah, it's like a Twitter trope. I just thought it was.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Can you believe X-Men killed the only character that can't die? You seen that one? Yeah, that's a popular one.
Oh no,
it's another one, another big one. But
you said something interesting earlier about like the Mythosaur waking up because the right ruler was there.
Yes.
He looks
and
at
then turning away.
It's Grogu. He senses Grogu. Grogu's the real ruler because he sees Bo-Katan and Din and just
argument
turns away.
Argument. He wakes up for Din, sees Bo-Katan, and dips.
But Din's still there. He's just unconscious, I guess, or looking dead. Like it's Bo-Katan and Din, So like if it's still Din. I guess he's probably expecting Din to come down there on his jetpack and speak with him or something. Because I guess if fucking... What does that mean to tame a mythos? Is it just a beast that is just down there like a rancor for like Jabba? Or is it like a smart... Like, does it have its own consciousness? Like...
I imagine taming it as in the sense of almost like... You know how like you've seen like many times like Jedi interact with like animals or creatures, and it's just like that touch, and all of a sudden it's like...
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that he would be the one to do it, because he was the only Mandalorian Jedi, so he could actually have that Force connection. And now that I don't know, I feel like it's Grogu.
Well, they actually say it's not Tar Vizsla who does it. It is it is Mandalore. Like, it is the first, it is that guy. Which is what makes me think it is very possible for it to wake up in the presence of someone it knows it will bond with. Not like it doesn't have to be some Force connection thing. It's like, oh shit, this is someone who I'm supposed to bond with.
Yeah, and I wasn't implying that it was like a Force connection. But I wasn't implying. I was just meaning like that method of like that. That's kind of like the concept behind the taming. Is my imagine is
I'm
like.
with you.
Similar in that vein.
Oh, I guess I could see it like, because I guess if he wakes up in the presence of the real, maybe it's just he doesn't know that he wakes up in the presence of a real, true leader. The Mythosaur doesn't know that. He's just waking up. He doesn't know that Din just fell down, sort of thing, maybe. So, like, because I guess in my head I'm like, well, if he's waking up, why doesn't he go down there and save Din? sort of thing. Why would he let Din drown?
No, I don't know.
I guess because I'd really like Din. It'd be nice if Din tames the Mythosaur and he rides it out of there, and he can put that signet on his other shoulder or remove the other one and have, I don't know if he has both of them, whatever. I kind of want Bo-Katan to have the Mythosaur so that I guess it makes more sense if he's like the world between worlds, and Din, like, it makes just way more sense if it's Din. But like, I want both of them to have something to rule with. And if Din already has the Darksaber, Bo-Katan doesn't need to fight him for it to win it. If she just gets the Mythosaur, they both have the two things that Mandalorians hold absolutely holy. And if they're married, then like, holy fuck, it just unifies everybody. Like, it just makes sense,
I dig it. I dig that. I dig the idea. But I think it leaves favorite shot for us here, right?
Indeed. And I guess is yours still down there though? Like, yours is of it's hard for me not to choose like Din walking into the water, like, and seeing Grogu's boat in the background.
Mine is actually earlier. It's not even on Mandalore, but my favorite shot was probably any screen grab of anything when they're flying in or out of Tatooine and all the fireworks and like things are going on, and you can see it in the glass and you can see Grogu just mystified by it all. I thought that was a really well done shot. There was also another one that I thought deserves some credit, was when Din kind of first gets into the like underground portion of Mandalore, and all of the like greenish color is kind of glinting off of his armor. It looks fantastic. I really like that. But I really like the Boonta scenes, like where Grogu's just kind of looking out and like you can see like Grogu's the focus, but all of the like stuff happening behind and around and stuff reflecting is like super cool.
It was so pretty. Boonta Eve
captures the essence of Grogu's like impressionability and like just his
He's a child. He's a sponge. He's taking everything in. Taking everything in. But I think I was like, my initial thought was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with whenever it's Din and Grogu in the background and Bo-Katan and he's walking in the waters. It's like, I mean, the framing was perfect. Everything was nice. But my actual shot is whenever Din and Grogu are flying over Mandalore, and he's kind of giving him his lesson. I think is actually what's happening in the episode. And it's whenever Din kind of points out the window, and he's like, "That's my home, Concordia." He's like, "That's where I grew up," and he kind of points in there. Grogu has his little hand on the ledge of the ship, and he's like looking out the window, and Din's like right behind him. I don't know. It's just, I love just like in the ship shots, the cockpit shots.
Yeah.
They're just, I love that he's not in the other thing all the time, that they're together and, just looking out together sort of thing.
Me too. That's what I really love about him getting like an R5 unit. Like, Grogu has no choice but to sit on his lap the entire time. Like, I love that. That's so fucking cute. My shot is when Grogu returns to Mandalore with Bo-Katan, and they both stop at the top of the cliff looking out over Sundari. And it's like a view of them from the back. It was just really cool to see Bo-Katan return here to a place that meant so much to her. And I really think it's interesting how much like selective narrative she'll tell Din. She was disillusioned with Mandalore far before anything happened. Like she was a part of the Death Watch. The children of the Watch spun out from that, and therein, the faction she followed is kind of the reason Din's the way he is. Like that's pretty damning.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she like, I guess whenever she was fighting against the Alamites, did she know that, like, she fought against them very well, and it seemed like she's done it before? Did she actually know about them? Because she says, like, I can't believe, like, they survived. Or I guess they survived through the bombings or whatever. So she didn't know that they were there, but she knew how to deal with them, I guess. So like,
Well, they seemed to imply that those creatures
they were
existed
just
on
down
Mandalore.
there just in the mines before.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Because I guess the green glow. Do they always have that green glow, or is that because like it looks like their weapons are all made out of the glass from the things, and the lizard dragon things are glowing green too. You know, like I didn't know if
Maybe they were just like able to withstand whatever radiation kind of happened as a result of this. Like maybe that's kind of what happened. No, I like that though. Yeah, I just loved seeing her return to Sundari, and it's like just rare that we see Grogu rolling with someone who's not Din. And we got it with Luke for a little bit, but then it's not Luke, it's fucking Bo-Katan, which is just kind of cool. I love that. I just really enjoyed that shot. But I believe that leaves nothing but a rating for this episode.
that would be it. Yeah.
And I got to tell you, pretty sure I'm with 10 in a couple categories here.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess for me, I'm only thinking of critically where I'm not a 10.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm a 10 in enjoyment and genre. Like it's 10 out of 10 Star Wars, and I was glued to the screen watching it. So it's 10 out of 10 enjoyment and
cry,
genre
laugh,
for me.
Man,
like everything was in this episode.
Is it just me, or does it feel like I don't know, just cinematography and just kind of like execution of the show itself seems like on a
Not as good.
little bit different. No, I was gonna say like a little bit better of like different of
I
a
think
scale. Like
they're
'cause,
streamlined
dude, like,
now.
I'm sorry, but like seeing like that, seeing shithead cockroach Dave and fucking like just the look of him and all of that stuff is just like seems so extremely well done to me.
I think
Maybe
it's
I'm
the
in
volume. Like
maybe I'm
they're
alone
used
in
to
that
filming in the volume now.
assessment, but
Like,
like it looks fantastic.
why?
to
I'm
me.
curious on why you think it looks worse now, Cole.
I think for me, there's something about it that doesn't feel as thoughtful. I think the special effects, to what he was speaking to, are better. I think literally Sundari and all of this, I don't think that can look better. I think the visual effects are brilliant. I think literally shot composition and the artfulness of the first couple seasons, that's kind of what the show has lost in the first two for me. It does feel a little bit more run of the mill through these first two episodes. Like, cause what I found myself, whenever we pick like favorite shots, typically I've had a tough time the first two episodes here where I'm like, there's nothing that's really standing out to me as like, wow, that was a really good fucking shot. I've ended up settling on stuff that I was like, yeah, that was cool. That was solid.
See,
I'm not floored by anything. And, that's that like Kyler was saying, I don't disagree that it's not well done. Like it clearly is. The special effects are fucking brilliant. The acting's been stellar. And I think the direction has been on point. But as far as like cinematography is concerned, I think it's just looked a little worse from that standpoint.
Okay.
I think they've also lost a few of the key, like, there was a guy who worked on a few episodes through the first two seasons named Greg Fraser. He was a cinematographer for multiple episodes. And that's the guy who did, the Batman and all sorts of great fucking TV, all sorts of great movies and TV shows that are like, oh, the cinematography in those is fucking incredible, you know? And he's not a part of the show anymore, Greg Fraser. And, that's something that kind of stands out to me, through some of the work, is that just some stuff's not hitting as hard as it used to, for my money.
I think right now, because I agree with you in seeing that it could look artfully worse. But as far as like the VFX and that side goes, of just like the behind the scenes and everything, like holy shit,
the volume is being used better this season than it did.
They know how to use it now. Like they are. I think that's why Jon Favreau is saying that like this could be a show that could go on forever, because once you get the volume set up and you have all those environments built in VR, like they have Navarro built completely. Like, if they wanted to, they could release, like, a Battlefront 2 video game map of Navarro right now, if they wanted to. Like, that's the detail they have it mapped out in, and they have it full 3D space, everything. It's what they have to do for the volume. And, like, once you have everything set up, you can just pop in a location that you want to film in. If, like, you don't have to pay $50 million, or, for set and all these lights and a blue or whatever. It's just the volume allows for so much more. But at the same time, that convenience, a lot of times the art is lost with that convenience. So it makes perfect sense that the VFX is top
there's
tier.
There's a couple key examples in the MCU. The examples in the MCU that have used the volume have been extremely lackluster. Love and Thunder and Quantumania. They both use the volume.
Wow. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Right. They both use the volume. And that, like, I think the volume's being used fucking incredibly. And I don't want to, like Greg Fraser, he only did a few episodes, but it's just a small example. Like, that dude did Dune, Rogue One, multiple episodes of The Mandalorian, The Batman. Like, this man's done some very good looking movies. And it's just not hitting the same. Just not hitting the same so far as shot composition is concerned. I will say it's still extremely well done. I don't have any beef with it. I will say this episode looked a lot better than the first episode for my money, though, of the season anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we gave last episode a 7 critically, and I don't think I was really anywhere near a 7 for this episode. But, like, there are some things that, like, I'm just confused on story-wise that I don't know if I'm missing something, but how Bo-Katan is so, like, let's get rid of him once and for all, and she goes outside and she's like, I thought I made it, or if I wasn't clear last time, I want to be left alone, sort of thing. Like, she didn't really give that, I guess maybe she gave the vibe that she wanted to be left alone a little bit, and maybe she's just saying that, like she's lying to herself and she doesn't actually believe in that sort of thing. I don't know.
No, I think it's fair. I think that she does want to be left alone. I think that, but she didn't say never come back here.
Yeah.
She wasn't as explicit as that.
She told him, go to the center of Sundari. That's where you'll find the caves. And then he was like, all right, cool. I'll return whenever the planet isn't toxic, and I'll do exactly what I said. See you later, Bo-Katan. And she goes, goodbye, Din Djarin. So you leave, and you're like, I don't know, you're not left with the idea that
I'm never welcome here again.
Yeah, but so I guess that was like my only gripe story-wise of the show, I guess. But I could just be, I don't know, maybe that shows Bo-Katan's true intentions. Like, we're talking that they're going to be together and everything, but she could spin this and for her advantage. And Din is very weak right now. She could take advantage of the situation and try to rule now. Like, I don't know. Like, we're kind of taking that they're going to work together for granted, I think, but who knows where Bo-Katan's going to take it. Maybe that scene is showing that, like, she does want to get rid of Din. That is her goal, to take Mandalore back, to get rid of Din. Because she needs the Darksaber back if she wants to get her followers back. Unless she gets the Mythosaur, and then that's how she gets everyone back. I don't know. Yeah. So, like... Yeah,
it's rare that I'm left in a place where they really can take it anywhere. Like, they're in a really good place to go kind of any direction, and I'm not really anticipating it right now. Because now we're officially to a point where there's not a thing in that trailer that hasn't been shown. Yeah. It's the first 2 episodes in the trailer.
You were right. Yeah, like, spot on about that. Yeah. Huh.
There's nothing left. Nothing left that we haven't seen, as far as I can remember.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm just blanking on what else was in the trailer, but like Grogu pushing out I already forgot again. Like seeing Sundari, like the ruins of Sundari was in the trailer. We saw that.
May the Force be with you.
Yeah, even the lines that Mando said in the trailer, we've already heard as well. So like, yeah, wow. I don't think there's really anything.
Oh, and that's part of what makes me go. The marketing. It's been Din versus Bo-Katan. But is that just kind of misleading? Like, is that just like they're steering us in a direction so that we tune in and then they kind of go a different direction with it? Like, I could absolutely see that because I think we're pretty much all caught up. We haven't seen the flashback, obviously, to whatever moment that is.
That'd be
in
the
Jedi
one big
Temple
thing left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But other than that, I mean, on Navarro, and there's fucking R5 in the trailer. Okay, if R5 was in the trailer, people would have known. If he was in the trailer, people would have known it was R5.
I'm glad we can finally dismiss this theory.
Like, there's no way that's R5. But like, what the fuck? It like, I mean, it like what? Anyway,
I mean, it is completely ludicrous to think that there could be two of the same make and model of a droid out there.
No, it is. She sent. I don't know. It is R5, the same R5. And Pelly's got some more going on, dude. Okay, I'm moving on. But the only thing, at least scrubbing the trailer, that we haven't seen would be, yeah. I mean, everything else. Oh, who's this guy? Oh shoot. There's a guy, an actor that we haven't seen yet. And he's wearing like a orange fire something on his thing. Oh man, what is? I don't know who that guy is. But I guess that'd be the only other thing. There's this one dude that's kind of in like an orangish uniform, and then the shot in the temple would be the only thing. So, but yeah, I guess we got everything else covered though. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is though, man. I'm trying to look at the cast, but can't find him.
No, yeah, I'm not sure. But regardless, almost the entire trailer has been shown so far. But we need to steer back around to the critical rating here. We got kind of sidetracked.
That's what we were going on. Yeah.
My floor for this one is an 8. I think it is a full point better than the premiere.
Okay.
At least.
And I guess what else does it
that's
not
at minimum.
What does it not do good other than the artfulness of the shots and stuff like that? Like, because the story was very riveting, and I was on the edge.
Story was strong. It kept me in it. It was I don't know. This isn't necessarily the actor's fault or a director's fault. It's just kind of the way Star Wars is and has been. There are some line deliveries every once in a while that I just can't, like, I'm just like, yeah, nah, man.
I know.
I know. Like, that's the only thing. But like, that's the thing though, is that it's come from Star Wars. Like, it's just how Star Wars is a lot of the time. So like, I can't say that it's a trait of the thing I'm watching. It's not a critique. It's something that this franchise does. So it's not like I can be like, well, that's bad. No, they're trying to do that. It's not like it's not necessarily a negative is what I'm saying.
I think 8 might just be it. Like, actually, I don't think I might. I don't know. I don't know if it actually, because this is episode 2, and like
an important thing for me when rating this is rating it as a television show, not just just a Star Wars television show. And if we want to rate it as a television show, what were some of our Andor ratings? What are some of our Game of Thrones ratings? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
how's this stacking up there?
Andor, I mean, 9.75s, 9, 5, 10. We had a few 8.5s, 8 for Andor.
Okay, I could see me going up to 8.5.
Okay, yeah. Game of Thrones. Let's see. We're most near season 2. It started off with 9.85, 9.8. Maybe it's like a
8.25.
Yeah, I think it does deserve that little bump, actually.
All right, a little bump above an 8. How you feeling about that, Kyler?
Yeah, I would say like I was sitting right around 8 to 8.5. I don't think it's quite a 9. Like I said, I'm trying to like keep the like frame like to where this will make sense even like after we get the rest of the season and the episodes that go above this. Like I'm trying to keep it in line as best I can, but it's just impossible because like there's no way of knowing what's
so good.
gonna
It's
come.
so fun.
Yeah, but I think 8.25 anywhere 8 to 8.5 is good to me. Like I think that's pretty right on par. Like I think it's definitely like especially when you talk about like being a whole like point better than the last episode. I definitely understand that. Also saw something today, Colton, that you made mention or you commented on Twitter. Somebody had this as a 5 critically. I think it was IGN. What the fuck are we talking about?
5 out of 10?
Yeah. No, there are a lot of complaints about how dark this episode is, and that's all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like, okay.
And I think that's
Sorry,
like,
we're not on Tatooine where there's fucking just 2 suns all the fucking time.
oh, and also there's only like if you have a TV from the last 5 years, this episode looks just fine. I don't know what the fuck anyone's. You got to be watching on your phone because I watched it on my phone at work, and objectively, yeah, it's dark as fuck. But I'm watching it on my 6-inch phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not watching it on a fucking TV. That was what I quote tweeted it with. I said, strongly recommend watching it on a television. Hope this helps. That was my quote tweet.
And it's kind of supposed to be dark. Like it's not a very happy time right now, you know, like it's not super gloomy and happy, you know, like
there's a difference between being poorly lit and like this is not a poorly lit episode by any means.
They're in the volume most of the time. It's lit exactly how they want it to be lit
exactly
most of the time. Like so, but yeah, if we do go 8.25, it's a 9.42 average, and I like this is kind of an all-time episode. Like when it comes to Mandalorian, and like that does make sense. Like I'm like maybe that's a little high, but I'm like thinking critically.
Well, and that's the thing is that like we incorporate. That's what makes it ours is our enjoyment and our genre rating makes that extremely important, and that's heavily weighing in there. And because I'm for sure a 10 enjoyment on this one.
Well, and here's the thing too. Like you got to figure this too. This is the first time we've seen Mandalorian live action. Like what weight does that hold to you? Naturally, I would say we're all in agreement that's quite a lot. You know, I mean, shit. Last time we were in Mandalorian Star Wars culture was fucking the Clone Wars, and those were some of the best episodes of the Clone Wars. Those were some of my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars too. So I mean, I think that this is probably, pretty good, pretty on point.
Pretty fucking beautiful for me. I had a great fucking time. No, good time, poodoo. It was
poodoo. This episode
not
was
poodoo.
Not poodoo. Yeah.
This was good poodoo.
Good poodoo episode.
Good poodoo. Good poodoo. Bad baby. No squeezy. No, yeah, man. I really enjoyed the episode, but it's shaken out to a 994. That sounds about right for me as far as Mandalorian episodes are concerned. I think that makes sense. It'd be in that higher range. You know, it's damn good. And it was a lot of fun to watch. We got any last thoughts, predictions, anything in that realm?
Bree Vizsla is the eyeball guy. Hold on to it now. And
R5 is probably like the big piece to the puzzle here. I think he has been a sleeper agent this whole time.
Thank you for filling my ego. I appreciate it.
No, I don't know. I try, like I said, I try to think of like a prediction or something. I really don't know. Like it's pretty tough. Like it's what are we? Do we get? Is it 10 episodes? Is that it? Or is it
8?
I think
8. Oh fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, we're already the way through.
Yeah, I mean, like shit's gonna get real quick. You know,
it already has. That's what's crazy.
Well, no, I know, but like I don't see. It's just hard. Like I don't have like a good like base to jump off.
Where the hell are we gonna go? Like if it's
and,
already
and
gone
see,
this far, whoa! Like
Colton, you
back
did a good.
Previous. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say you did a good job earlier, kind of bringing up that like they've done a good job of like kind of setting themselves up in this way, and like that's exactly like you'll see some shows that kind of like back themselves into a corner, or like you can tell there's really only like one route out of this storyline or something, where it's like It's not quite like predictable, but you can almost like you just kind of you can tell the direction a little bit, like a vague sense of like what's to come, and like I don't really have that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, man. Like I'm thinking,
idea of where a show's gonna go, but you'll watch it because you want to see how it gets there. But here, I'm like, I don't know where it could go. It could go 5 different ways, but I want to see how it gets there each way. So like,
yeah, exactly. I want to see all the possibilities, man. Like, I'm thinking about previous season episode 2s. You know, like season 1, episode 2 is the first time we watch Grogu use the Force, which is pretty important. That's the first time we see him lift the Mudhorn and stuff. Season 2, episode 2, that's the passenger. That's the one where they go on the fun little excursion with Frog Lady. They get trapped in the ice and stuff. This is a different, like,
amazing piece of
yes,
artistry came from.
Thank you.
Literally, I'm going to have that.
I
am going to have that forever. If anything stands the test of time in my room right now as it sits, it will be that.
Aw, shucks. Good poodoo. But no, like, as far as like storytelling moments, have we gotten anything on this level this early in a season?
Mythosaur, we got a fucking
we got
a Mythosaur. We thought like I don't know.
What we thought was one of the premier missions of the season to go to the Mines of Mandalore and redeem himself.
Like
it's not in the second episode.
I really thought for some reason, like, we just took Din riding out on a Mythosaur for granted, like, just it being the big thing. Like, I was like, yeah, that's a season finale event, like, for sure. Oh, here he is, right now. He's awake. Or
as soon as Bo-Katan started talking about it, I was like, we're gonna fucking do this, aren't we? You know, like, I was like, we're gonna fucking see it now, right?
And
then we did.
They're teasing it. You know, they're doing good to not show the whole thing and show the whole body at once. You know, they just gave you to give you the big scale of it. You know, that thing's huge.
Well, not only is this the first time we're seeing a live action Mythosaur, we haven't seen a Mythosaur, period.
You're right.
We've
only seen the logo. That's all.
Yeah. That is it.
So you're right. Yeah, this is, I don't know. When I was watching this, I didn't stay up till 2 a.m., so it was in the morning for me, but I was like, oh my God. This is
dude.
Quite the day. Yeah.
I had a great fucking night. I was like midnight and I was like, oh, I'm not that tired. I might as well just stay up at this point. So I played Battlefront 2, just a big old Star Wars night for me from midnight to 1 a.m. And then at 1 a.m. I was like, getting tired of this. I'm going to catch up on the Star Wars comics I've had. So like I read like Star Wars, The High Republic, Nameless Terror #1, Star Wars, The High Republic Blade #3, Star Wars Hidden Empire #4. And I was just like, let me kill another hour right quick. It was a great fucking
every
Is that where you tweeted the thing about like getting somebody's head crushed with their thighs or something?
Different. There's a new book out right now. The Jedi Fallen Order spinoff book is out right now, and I can talk on that for a couple seconds here since we're near the end here. But it's really fucking good. You remember Marin, the Night Sister that they pick up from Dathomir, the witch?
Yeah.
She is based like, I thought the main character would be Cal. Marin is much more the main character, and she has a romance in this book where like the first time she lays eyes on this chick's like she's got that She-Hulk body going on. She's kind of jacked and like she's got big old shoulders and big old thighs. She's like admiring her entire body, and there's like this is the sauciest romance novel the Star Wars canon has in its bag right now. Like I'm like, yo, it's pretty explicit that these two people want to fuck.
Wow.
And but one of the things she says is like she's like looking over her entire body. She admires her like throat, and she loves her hands, and then she like works her way down to her thighs that feel like they're so
wow.
they're so big. They're so big that they feel like she feels like they could just crush her head. And I was like, yo, there's only one thing that means what you're thinking about doing at this point in time.
Wow, that is pretty saucy for Star Wars. I don't think we'll get that saucy with Din and Bo if they get there. You know, I think it just a helmet removal and a kiss. You know, is
I would love it. I tweeted. I tweeted. She just like me. She just like me for real.
Now, my one last prediction is Bo-Katan will be the one to remove Din's helmet. And he will be finally okay with it, with him removing the helmet, but he's not quite there yet, so he can't do it himself, so Bo-Katan has to be the one to finally do it, and she's the one that looks upon his face, and then they just see each other, and she sees him, and they're like, oh my god, you're Pedro Pascal, you're so hot, and then I fucking kiss him. So that's my...
Kissy good poodoo. No, I love the idea of a Din and Bo romance. I'm never going to believe a romance for Din is possible until it unfolds, until he gives in, until he's done with the way, because you can't have a romance unless you're willing to show your fucking face.
Kind of like a Jedi thing. It is kind of like Jedi in the way that they can't love. Like, it's a rule for Jedi they can't love. It's almost just like if you're a Mandalorian and you're part of the way, it's just implied that you're not really fucking.
Well, and this is what I'm curious about. At what point does he start considering how much he doesn't want Grogu to live that life as a means to how he feels about it? You know? Like, is there a point whenever he goes, oh god, I don't want Grogu to cover his face for the rest of his life. Oh god, I don't want that. I don't want that for him. So why should I want that for me? You know, like, is that ever in the cards for him?
Whoa. Didn't think about it. I don't know. This show could get very like that deep. I don't like, are they going there? You know, like, is that what they're building towards? It seems like it.
Well, there's just a few things that are just if they don't address them, or if they don't deal with it sooner than later, there becomes holes, because he's teaching Grogu about the way of the Mandalore, the creed, the way, you know, like, is what he wants for Grogu right now to grow up and throw a helmet on and never take it off? Is that what he wants? Like,
guess now, yeah. But the rule,
I don't think it is. I think he hasn't thought about it.
Yeah, that's more likely. That is way more likely. But I guess if you're in Death Watch, apparently you can remove your helmet if you are married. Like, they can marry, and if you are married, you can remove your helmet in private. If you are married, and like in private at your home, you can remove your helmet. So it's not like, you know, sort of like, I think they don't love often. They can't find love, because how are you going to find, you know, I feel like you can't remove your helmet. How are you going to find love? So like, maybe a lot of them just don't have anyone. So that rule just doesn't apply usually ever. But yeah, I don't know. It is very interesting that, like, the similarities between the Jedi and the Mandalorian, the people that like just their ways and the flaws that they have. So I don't know. I really hope they dive into that, and that's where the story's going.
That's where
they do have to. Yeah, you're right. Like, they do they have to.
They have no choice. Like, there comes a point, like, if you want Grogu to keep making you fucking money, if this is what it comes back to, you don't throw a fucking helmet on his head. You just don't. Like, if we're basing it off the logic of not just storytelling and how well it could impact Din and et cetera, if we're going from strictly the way Disney has kind of approached this character,
they're not doing it. Yeah.
They're not doing that. You know, like, that's just, they're going to figure out a way to make sure he doesn't wear a helmet. And they've made it clear that the armorer is more than capable of forging stuff for little guys.
Maybe it's even better if you can put a helmet on him for a little bit, for just 2 episodes or 3, and then it's gone forever. So you could sell the toys of him with his ears poking out of the helmet.
That will definitely happen. Definitely happen.
Yeah. So
even if he doesn't have to, like, that's the thing. He'll get a helmet. He'll just not have to keep it on.
Yeah. Ooh. What if it's Grogu taking off the helmet that makes Din take off his too? Like, I don't know. What if they take it off together, like, sort of thing? Like, he does get a little mini helmet, and then they take them off together. I don't know.
God, this better be resolved by the end of this season.
Yeah.
I just can't, like, that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of right now, where, like, I thought that, like, that's what I thought the resolution of the last season was. And now we're back to that. I don't know. I hope it's resolved before the end of this season, or else I'm going to be a little pressed. that's when I'll start going, okay, where are we going with this? You know, they better address that religious trauma and paint it to actually be negative, because the way they hold that moment dear at the end, whenever he is redeeming himself in the waters of Mandalore, the score swells. It is a powerful moment. Bo-Katan is like almost is admiring it. Din's very happy to be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling that way when I'm watching it. I'm going like, you know, like, man, like, and like, it's not a bad thing. Like it's what he feels like he needs to do at this moment. And that's cool. But I don't want the show treating it like it's what he should be doing. And that's what they're doing. That's what it feels like at the moment.
I think it's very much like that because that's where his headspace is right now, and that's what he does believe in. But once we start seeing him realize the flaws, that's when the show picks up on them more too. Okay. I feel like I hope that's where they're going. But like I don't know. I guess it was. I mean, I did like sort of. I didn't cry. It wasn't even like a well up. It was just sort of like a little emotion. Like it was more of like Bo-Katan seeing Din go through it that I was actually getting emotional for. Like her maybe being like, oh man, back whenever I believed in this sort of thing, like life was just so simple. And now, you know, like I was more of thinking like of all the things that she was thinking in that moment. That was making me emotional. So yeah, you're right. Like it's not actually the spiritual awakening that Din is having, or what, you know, whatever you want to call it right now. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's next episode. Like, maybe in private, Grogu and Din, like, he removes his helmet with Grogu. We haven't seen them just in private themselves yet. You know, I don't know. Maybe Din just does remove it with Grogu in private. He's already seen his face. Like, I guess he's trying to redeem himself. Well, no, it'd be kind of pointless to go redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Then, I don't know. I guess yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm praying that's resolved by the end of the season, or else it's just not. It's not up to the quality the show could be if they don't resolve that by the end of this season. I don't think, because it is fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the shit out of it. But at some point, we got to address that. We really got it, like, because we've theorized that they're going to address that. And they are laying the groundwork, it feels like, if we project that idea onto it. But I don't know. I need a little bit more concrete. It
is Disney.
Yeah.
And
never know.
Sometimes they don't go with what we want them, you know, where we think they're going. But, but I don't know. I have faith.
I do too. Disney's done an overall really good job with Star Wars. It's just I'm curious to see how they handle this religious storyline, you know. But with that, do we have any last thoughts? I know we gave the rating. We've kind of dragged the ending of this out for a while. How are we all feeling?
Feeling like I'm ready for next Wednesday.
Oh my fucking god, dude! I was thinking today. I was like, it was like. Today, 2 p.m., Wednesday, 2 p.m., and I'm going, Jesus Christ, I have to wait another fucking week.
A whole week. To not, yeah. And we're only going to get a little bit more. And we're going to be
kind of an interesting
like
thing.
Next week too. Fuck.
It's kind of an interesting thing for me is like, I'll like think about it for like today and tomorrow. I'll be like, damn, I got to wait so long for the next Mandalorian. And then I'll like fill that time with other things and like won't really think about it anymore. And then I'll be like, holy shit, it's Tuesday night. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
I watched every movie in the Rocky franchise between last Wednesday and today. You know, like that's how I filled my fucking time, you know, like I've been occupied. But like for today, I'm going to be like, God damn it, I got to wait a week. And then tomorrow I'll be on to the next fucking thing. And the next Wednesday I'll come around and I'll be like, oh shit, the Mandalorian's tonight, you know, like,
and now we gotta wait a whole other week for episode 4, and it's just the loop. It's just happening.
The loop. It never ends. But I think with that, we can confidently conclude this episode of Rebellion's Bloom, the Penny Bloom podcast. If you would, head to patreon.com/pennybloom pod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including all sorts of book reviews, comic book pull lists, movie reviews. Actually, tomorrow I plan on recording another first viewings episode. It's a project where every time I watch 15 movies for the first time, I go ahead and I rank them arbitrarily. There is no reason these movies would go together on a list aside from the fact that I have just now watched them for the first time. That's the only bearing for why these movies are being compared. And that's a little project I've got going over on the Patreon. It'll be the second edition. And frankly, I'm a little behind on it. So I'm already halfway through the third list and I just haven't recorded the second one yet. So those will be coming very soon. Still got to review Cocaine Bear. I just reviewed Creed 3 and gave a Rocky ranking over there. It was a spoiler-free review of Creed 3. I didn't want to give anything away, mostly because I know my boy Kyler likes those movies, and he's over there. So I wanted to make sure that he could listen to it without being concerned that he might hear a spoiler or two. Yeah, so that's all over there. Tons of shit over there. For $3 a month, you can support the podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at Penny Bloom Pod, follow on Instagram at Penny Bloom Podcast. Remember, leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you are listening. And if you are fucking with us today, we are continuing our comic book movie journey through film this Friday with Batman Mask of the Phantasm, where we'll be joined by Star Wars animation podcast, The Yubcast. Very excited for you all to hear that. That was one that we recorded like 2 days after the passing of Kevin Conroy, and it's right. you can really feel it in the way we're talking, revering his portrayal of the character. And with that episode coming around this week, I've just been missing him a little bit more this week. So be sure to check that out on Friday. And check out the Yubcast. They're an awesome Star Wars animation podcast. And I can't wait for the future of what they've got going on. I actually just got a little DM from him about a potential collaboration once again. And I won't give it away because I don't know if he's formally announced anything.
Leaks? Don't leak. Secrets. Keep it secrets.
Secrets. Yeah, and then on Mondays we're doing our Winter is Blooming Game of Thrones rewatch. We finish season 2 next week. Next Monday will be the conclusion of season 2, and we'll be kicking off season 3 the week after that. So we're moving. We'll already be a quarter of the way through that rewatch after next week, which is kind of crazy. And I think mathematically we're already past that point, but seasons wise, there's 8 seasons. We're about to finish season 2. So, but yeah, check all that out. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And thank you very much, KBZ Kyler Barnett.
Absolutely.
And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And fuck shithead David.